Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, August 16th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION-NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch is just going to be here in a couple minutes. So let's just cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Now, I apologize. I came on a little late. Getting this Skeens thumbnail took me a hell of a lot longer than anticipated. So I should have been online about 10 minutes ago, but I wanted everything to be perfect, and I am a perfectionist. And it is Paisley's birthday today. So happy 3rd birthday, Paisley. All the donos today will go towards fun goodies, phone, ball, treats for my girl. And on the thumb, on the left, as you can see, it is our ace, Logan Gilbert. And on the right, the phenom rookie, #1 pick, Paul Skeens. This is one of the best matchups all year besides George Kirby and Tarek Skubal. We ended up losing both of those matchups. I don't know what to expect here tonight, but hopefully we can bring it. Let's get into starting lineups here for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in center field, Victor Robles. Batting second, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting third, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, welcome back to the lineup, DHing today, Julio Rodriguez. Batting fifth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing first base, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. Batting eighth, playing third base, Hollywood Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 7-8 record, ERA of 2.91, it's Walter Logan Gilbert. Let's go, baby. And now let's get into the starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at DH, Andrew McCutchen. Batting second, playing left field, Brian Reynolds. Batting third, playing shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. Batting fourth and cleanup, second baseman, the former Yankee, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Batting fifth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting sixth, playing right field, Brian De La Cruz. Batting seventh, playing third base, Key Brian Hayes. Batting eighth, catching tonight for Pittsburgh, Yasmani Grandal. And batting ninth, center fielder, Michael Taylor. And on the mound for the Pirates, the best pitcher in baseball, not named Chris Sale or Tarek Skubal, it is Paul Skeens. 6-2 record, an ERA of 2.25, and I made it. I did not think I would be able to get all of this underway, but here we are, and Skeens will be here on the mound, wheeling and dealing, and hopefully we can find a way to get the job done. Let's go, Mariners. We just got swept by the Tigers, so this is going to be very, very tough. I don't expect to win this game, but you never know. Maybe it'll be one of those outings where the bats come alive. If we get to 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, we can win this game. But if we score 1 to 3 runs, we're going to lose 100%. And when we score 1 to 3 runs, I think we have like 4 wins and 40 plus losses. So we got to find a way to get to 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, because we don't win 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 games in 2024. But we're not going to probably get anything out of Skeens. We're going to have to wait till he goes out, hopefully in the 5th or the 6th. If he pitches until the 7th, good night, but we'll see where it goes. Matt in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you got a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the post that I made. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Daniel in the building, Megan in the building, how are you? And again, we're going to be shooting for 20 likes, obviously in the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, 100 in the donos as well. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you're taking care of your mental health. So important every single day. Make sure you're looking out for yourself and make sure that you're exercising, eating healthy, spending time with pets, family, and friends. And if you do those basic things, you'll come out on the other side a lot quicker and you can win the day. Let's go, baby. We got Friday Night Baseball, baby. Apple TV Plus. Man, I haven't been this rushed in such a long time. And happy birthday to my girl, Paisley Pup. She turns 3 years old today. Got a chance to go to Petco. Got a big old thing of dog food for obviously coming up for next month. Got her a new rope. Got her some toys. She is very, very happy. And again, the Skeens, image is so hard to put together. And I had to go through this thumbnail, like literally it took me over an hour to get it going. And then I got it almost right with another image. And then I said, you know what? This looks too sloppy for my liking. So then I had to keep looking. And I finally found this gem of an image of Skeens to match up with my Logan Gilbert. And the spacing looks good. Everything looks fantastic. And I can't wait to get into this matchup. This is going to be one of my favorite matchups of the year, besides with the George Kirby and Tarek Skubal. And obviously, we got our ass kicked in both of those games. Skubal is the best pitcher in the game, not named Chris Sale. And obviously, Skeens might be the best righty in the game. All right, baby. First pitch from Skeens to Robles. Chopper towards third. Throw to first. One away. That was way too quick. Let's go, baby. And we're at PNC Park, a very beautiful park for baseball. If you haven't seen this park before, look in the background and how beautiful it is there. All right, Victor, I'm going to need you to get going within the first couple innings. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Go, Randy. PJ in the building. What's good? Let's go, Mariners. Pitch is inside. And did that hit, Randy? Thank you, Megan, for the like and the share. I appreciate you. Let's go. Wow, Skeens hit him. Yeah, I didn't see where it hit him either right there. That was a little odd, but we'll take that. If he says he got hit, he got hit. They're not complaining. Next up is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch to Cal Raleigh. Flies it out to right field, though. 2 away. Mariners are very aggressive on these potential first pitch strikes from Paul Skeens. Next up, welcome back to the lineup. DHing for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, baby. Let's go, Julio. We missed you. And the only problem with you being at DH, that means Justin Turner, if he's not playing first base, he's not playing. But hopefully Julio can make some plays here today, obviously in the box, since we have Victor Robles in center field. Come on, Julio. Let's go, baby. 263 average, 11 homers here in 2024. Has had a high ankle sprain for over a month, and he's not fully healthy just yet. That's why he's not in center field, and he tweaked it on Wednesday. And when he tweaked it, it could have been really bad, where he could have went right back to the injured list in the IR, an injured reserve. But thankfully, they gave him a couple days of rest, and he's back. So hopefully he'll be able to do something here tonight. Come on, Julio. Julio, fly ball, and a little blooper in between. Wow. Okay, Robles to third, and Julio with a deep single into left field, right in between the third baseman and the left fielder. That was crazy. I think O'Neal Cruz was chasing after it. Brian Hayes was chasing after it. Wow. Brian Reynolds couldn't get to it in time. I'll take that, baby. Nice job, Julio. Yes, sir. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman, it's Jorge Polanco. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's go, baby. And again, every single dono that we end up getting today will go towards something nice for Paisley for her birthday today. And shout out to Megan, Lauren, and Matt for helping out on the likes and the shares on the post. Thank you so much. That one pop foul. 1 ball and 1 strike for Polo. All right, we got over 20 people in the building, but we only have 5 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We only have about a quarter of the people in the room that have smashed the like button. Now we got a few more. Thank you so much. 3 more to get to 10. And again, we want to get to 20 within the first hour. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Top of the first, 0-0, Mariners and Pirates. 1-1 pitch to Polo right down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners on the corners on first and third. Robles at third. Julio at first. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. 2 more likes to get to 10. Let's get there, baby. The quicker that we can get to 20, then we can shoot for 30 to 50, and we can get a few more people here in the room. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's the man. Pitch is low into the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Skeens. Yeah, we got to get to him early. You know, if we can't get him out by the 5th inning and he goes 6 or 7, you know, we might be done. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as Scooball, but we'll see. I mean, he is a rookie, but Skeens plays like a vet. And again, I haven't seen a number 1 pick live up to the expectations, and I think he's going to exceed the expectations that we saw out of Steven Strasburg on the Nationals. That's probably the last time that we had a righty that was this highly touted, and Skeens is much better than Strauss. So as long as he doesn't have Tommy John within the first 5 or 6 years in his career, things are going to pan out very nicely for the Pirates and Skeens. Right down the middle. Right on cue with the first K. Skeens makes Polo whiff. Nice job, Paul, because we're not haters here. We'll make sure we give the proper love to Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at DH, Andrew McCutchen. Batting second, left fielder Brian Reynolds. And batting third, shortstop O'Neal Cruz. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. How are you doing, Reflect? And I sent you the new nickname list that the Mariners players, they actually, went over a list of nicknames of what the players call the other players, not necessarily what the fans call the players, or like people like us on social media or on streamers and people that are doing Mariner content. So let's go down the nicknames here real quick. So we got, for Luis Castillo, we got La Piedra. We've gotten that one. Mitch Garver is Garv Sauce or Garv, right? We got JT Chargois is Shaggy, but we don't really see him that much to be able to give him a nickname. Logan Gilbert, as if we have today, is Walter. JP Crawford is a pretty cool one. The players call him Crawdaddy, like Crawdads. I like that. I did Crawdads as my first job with my dad. I kind of like that for JP. JP is Crawdaddy. Mitch Haniger is Hanny. And obviously we have Jimmy Garcia is Beatrina. We don't really see too much of him to go through that as well. George Kirby is Sharp. I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Let's see. Bryce Miller is Big Tex. Not sure if I've heard that often. I've heard it before, though. Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper, maybe the best nickname in sports. Dylan Moore is Demo. Luke Raley is Rails. I kind of like Nuke Raley or Luke Nukem as well. And then Andres Munoz is Mooney. Obviously, Luis Rivas is Little Papa. We got Jorge Polanco that we just saw. That is Polo. Victor Robles is Vic by his teammates. Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, as everyone knows. Trent Thorny. We got Josh Rojas, Ro. Obviously, we like Hollywood as well. Justin Turner, just like his social media handle, Red Turner 2 or Red Turn 2. Taylor Saucedo, Sauce. That makes sense. Austin Voth, Av. And then we got Colin Snyder, Snides. And then the last one is a little confusing, but I know he loves cheese. Brian Wu is Parmesan. I was thinking maybe Wu-Tang or something like that, but there's a lot of things that you could come up with Ric Flair or with Wu-Tang, the rap, obviously, group, and with, back in the day. But Parmesan, I think we might have to get something new for our boy Brian Wu, but if that's what the players want to call him. And again, I know that they've done a cheese thing in the past on socials, to kind of go over some of the nicknames, and there's a deeper story to Wu's nickname being obviously that particular cheese, but kind of funny with Parmesan. And I know he loves Parmesan, but I didn't know that would be his nickname by the players, but I guess there it is. Bottom of the first, 0-0, Brian Reynolds about to come up, and we got Andrew McCutchen. Big swing and a miss. Down goes McCutchen. Nice job by Logan Gilbert. First K, first batter. Good sign here for the Mariners. Let's go. Next up for the Pirates, left fielder Brian Reynolds. What's good? How are you? Yow. Megan in the building. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. 95 to go. Paisley says thank you. Yeah, and we ain't going to have no Cruz and O'Neill home run. And the thing is if you're going to have Cruz go for a home run, you got to be able to be a real fan and spell his name right. If you can't even get his name right, then you're not a real fan. Come on. Britt in the building. How are you? Reflect with a $5. Paisley says thank you. She's a very, very happy girl. 1-1 pitch to Reynolds. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reflect with a $5. Thank you so much. 90 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And every dono that we get today will go towards gifts for Paisley for her birthday. So thank you so much. 90 to go. 1-2 pitch by Brian Reynolds. Fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Thank you so much. How are you? I missed you. Right down the middle. Got him. Let's go. We already know there's going to be a lot of trolls and haters that don't even care about, the team that the Mariners are playing. They just want to come in and cause a problem. Nice job, Logan. 2 Ks right out of the gate. He's trying to match, what we're going to be getting out as Skeens. Stetson's finest, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Pitches outside. 1 ball and no strikes to O'Neill Cruz. C-R-U-Z if you're a real fan. One-oh pitch. Big whiff and a swing and a miss at a pitch low and inside at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Logan Gilbert wheeling and dealing, trying to show that, hey, Skeens was a starter for the All-Star game, but even Logan Gilbert, didn't get a chance to play, but definitely was worthy enough to play, and he was an All-Star as well. And again, we had the Tarek Skubal George Kirby matchup twice, which was the best matchup of the year up to that point. And maybe this one will be a little bit more competitive with Skubal and Kirby compared to Gilbert and Skeens. 2-1 pitch to O'Neill Cruz, C-R-U-Z. That one chopped behind the plate, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I got you. Two-two pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Britt's on board. She said, bring us the Glenn. 3-2 pitch. Chop foul. Three-two pitch from Gilbert to Cruz. Wow, 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. That's a great start for Logan Gilbert. He is pacing for 12 Ks. Let's go. My guy. Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3 first. We'll take it. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Luke Raley. Batting second, right fielder Dominic Canzone. And batting third baseman Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let me see. I got to get this Glenn Powell here. I don't have anything in the bucket with that, so give me a sec. Glenn Powell, a handsome fella. Oh, there he is. I appreciate you. First pitch to Luke Raley outside for a ball. Let's go, baby. Big swing and a miss by Luke Raley. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zay in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, I think we will. I mean, we already got 3 Ks out of Logan Gilbert in the first inning, fanning the whole side. So I think this is going to be a pitcher's duel, but I think the bats will come alive for us today. Much better than they did against Skubal. We have to. After we got swept by the Tigers, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, Fernando in the building. What's good? We're going to have to get the ladies in the room some bibs here for the Glenn Powell photos. Okay, I'll see you. Top of the second, 0-0, Mariners and Pirates. 3 bibs for everyone. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Luke Raley. Luke Nukem. Rails is what the players call him. All right. Next up, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We want to try to get to 20 within the first hour. 30 to 50 overall. Let's see where we're at right now. Looks like we're at 14. We need 6 more to get to the goal to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. Pitch is inside, 2-0 count. Which is outside, 3-0 count. I mean, if we can get Skeens to hit a couple guys, just walk a few guys, I mean, it could make all of the difference. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 count from Skeens to Dominic Canzone. Pitches outside, and there goes Dominic Canzone. We'll take that. A couple walks, hit by a pitch. We'll take it. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. First pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. We gained a sub or 2, which is good. Now we're down to 20 subs to get to 20,400. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet and you're watching and you've been a regular watcher, you could be one of those 20 to get us to that next plateau and that next goal. 20 subs to 20,400. 232 average, 5 homers. 6 homers, 23 ribbies. But he hasn't done a whole lot as of late. Hollywood Josh Rojas popped up, going into left field. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, shortstop Leo Rivas. $2 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Pitches outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Rivas. Kip in the building. What's good? We are at 12:88 to go. And again, all donos through Venmo, Cash App, and the Super Chat will go towards gifts for Paisley. I didn't get a chance to go to Petco today. Got food for her, got her a couple toys, got her a new rope, got her a stuffed animal that she ripped apart pretty quickly, a fox. She's got a couple new bones. So she is a very, very happy girl. We went on 2 long walks already today as well. And it was a beautiful sunrise here in Oregon, 6-7 a.m. And we definitely got the most of her birthday walk and birthday celebration. Paisley pup, the love of my life, is 3. And hopefully I get to live many, many birthdays with her. 2-1 pitch. Pitch on the corner, but called ball. That's very surprising. 3 balls and 1 strike. It looked like it was in the zone. High corner. Big swing and a miss by Rivas. 3-2 count. Count is full. Okay, I understand. Plus, we're going to be doing early streams that would be too early for you anyways, I believe. So, because I think that the next 2 games for the Mariners are going to be at 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. So for you, that would be like 3 a.m. or something of that nature. So I'll pray for you. I hope things will, get a little bit better for you, the best that they can. And then we may see you after the weekend or whenever you're ready. Top of the second, 0-0, 2 outs, 3-2 count from Skeens to Rivas. That one popped up. Fading foul. Count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But as far as everyone else is concerned, I'd be happy to have you come along. And with all the hard work and the grind and the effort, we didn't really have a big dono day yesterday at a 10 a.m. stream. But one thing that we did accomplish is that we did hit over 1,000 views at a 10 a.m. stream, which is pretty fucking surprising. Check swing, did he go? And it's a walk. Because normally you're going to get probably somewhere between 500 to 900, on a morning stream. But to hit over 1,000, like if it was a 5 p.m. start or a 7 p.m. start, that's very promising, going forward. And obviously, most people are going to know me as the Seattle Mariners streamer and the Oregon Ducks streamer, as well as many other things, Kraken and NFL games and NFL reaction videos. But, obviously a lot of that hard work is starting to pay off, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Pitches outside, 1-0 count to Victor Robles. Top of the second, runners at first and second with 2 outs, but we haven't been able to capitalize off Skeens just yet, and that's how you're able to get him out of the game early or to get him frustrated. And it seems like even if he hits a couple guys or he walks a couple guys, eventually, he puts this team in a good position to get a good, easy pop-up or ground out, and we haven't been able to capitalize just yet. 2-0 pitch, Robles, force out to second, and we leave 2 stranded again. Brutal. Hopefully that doesn't have a reoccurring theme, because if we keep leaving 2 stranded, our luck is going to run out, and then eventually we're going to go ice cold unless the Pittsburgh Pirate bullpen is ass, and we'll have to wait and see, what they look like once Skeens goes out. But obviously they're going to play their best baseball for Skeens, just like the Tigers do for Skubal. They're going to give you everything they got. Or when Chris Sale is on the mound, that the players are going to give a top-notch effort no matter what. Go to the bottom of the second inning after the Mariners strand 2 innings in a row. We got to find a way. Next up, for the Pirates, the former Yankee, Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Batting second, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. And batting third, right fielder, the former Miami Marlin, Brian De La Cruz. This would have been a decent fit for the Mariners in right field as well, but the Pirates snagged him up at the trade deadline. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I think, for any type of situation like that, whether it ends up being a family member, friend, or, a pet, that ends up being a family member, no matter, how many years go by, it's not going to be something that's forgotten. It's definitely going to, cause a stir of emotions. And then you just have to do your best to be able to manage those emotions, when that anniversary comes around. So prayers up to you. I hope things get slightly better for you mentally as the days pass on. Isaiah Kiner Falefa in the box. Bottom of the second, 0-0 Mariners and Pirates. 0-1 count to Falefa. Oh, 1 pitch. Pitch in the zone for a strike. Behind in the count 0-2. Logan Gilbert looks very, very good compared to, obviously, what we saw out of George Kirby in his 2 starts, against Skubal. 0-2 pitch. First start wasn't as bad. I believe we lost 6-2 against Skubal, but the second time around was 15-1, so. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think for the most part, though, most people feel Skeens is going to wheel and deal. And, even though the Mariners are known for a top 3 pitching staff, I think a lot of outsider fans just assume that, they're going to fail, that the pitchers won't do their job. There we go. Logan Gilbert with another K. See you later. Kiner Falefa down. First 4 batters, 4 Ks. Let's go. One of the best starts out of Logan Gilbert. And we get it. They got Paul Skeens. He's got Livy Dunn. He's got the whole world wrapped around his finger. I get it, right? But we got a pretty damn good pitching staff as well. And we got Logan Gilbert. So nice job to bring that intensity. And this is what we call playing up to the competition, not playing down like we did to the Tigers. Popped up. There we go. Rojas, 2 away. Agreed. But I think that once people start looking at the line, they're going to be shocked on how good Gilbert is doing here today. I mean, even for Gilbert standards, this is very good. You know, we don't really see him get, 4 Ks or 5 Ks out of the first 6 batters that often. Does it happen with our starters from time to time? Yes, but it's been a while. And again, we haven't had a pitcher retire the side in the first inning in a minute. So good start for Logan Gilbert. It seems like he's in the zone, and he knows he's going against another all-star in Skeens. If you can't get up for this pitching duel, what are you going to get up for? I mean, this is the matchup to be able to show what you got against arguably the best righty in the game in Paul Skeens. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the second, 0-0, Mariners and Pirates. 2 outs, 1-1 count. To De La Cruz. Popped up. And he's got it, baby. There we go. Easy inning there for Logan Gilbert and the Mariners. We'll take that. Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise, reflect, let me know, and I got you. And then anything else that you want to be able to see photo-wise, Megan, let me know. I got you. You want me to continue the Glenn Powell photo dump? We can go down that avenue if you'd like. Just let me know, and I got you. See who's up next here for the Mariners in the top of the third. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0 for 1, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1 for 1, DHing for the Mariners. Welcome back, Julio Rodriguez. Try dance up, baby. Let's go. All right, we're at 18. We need 2 more likes to get to 20. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Now we're at 19. Thank you so much. We're 1 away from hitting 20 in the first hour. Let's go. He said, Glenn, 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 and more Glenn. All right, keep me updated, Kip. I mean, shit, if you're playing the Nats, you should be blowing them out at some point or another. I mean, regardless if the Phillies have injuries or not. Like if Bryce Harper is out and Schwarber is out or Trey Turner is out, your team is still good enough to beat a team like the Nats. But it is baseball, and you never know. Anybody can beat anyone on any given Monday through Sunday. But if we're being honest and real, you should be able to beat them down pretty good. Let me check. I did. Taylor Swift, toilet seat cover, bath mat, and shower mat. See, we okay. So this is what you have, or what you want, or this is what you want to gift your future girlfriend. This is the gift. We need to get a more clear picture, because all these photos that you send me of this Taylor Swift merch, they're all blurry. It doesn't do it. Just see, you got to send me HD 4K photos. You can't just send me some blurry toilet, some blurry Tay-Tay merch. Tay-Tay would not be impressed with that herself. You got to dig deeper, my guy. You got to be looking at the higher resolution of the photos. You can't be sending me something that's 200 by 200. You know, you got to be sending me something that's like 1920 by 1080 HD 4K. You got to do better than that, baby. Let's go. Let's go, big dumper. Let's go, Randy. Let's go, Julio. Top of the third, 2-2 pitch. Pitches into the dirt at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Randy got hit in the arm, grazed supposedly by Skeens. I didn't see it, but Randy went to first, but we didn't get anything out of it. Pitcher's duel. And there is strike 3 from Skeens. Zarena does not like it, but there's nothing that we can do. Let me tell you, man, Skeens is a lot of fun to be able to watch and break down. You know, his pitching motion and his power and his accuracy. He is so good. Next up is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. That one chop foul. 1-1 count. Cal pops up. Routine play. 2 away. Ollie is 5. Wow. It's crazy how time flies. Julio, dribbler, throw to first. Very easy inning there for Skeens. Go to the bottom of the third. Next up for the Pirates, third baseman, Ke'Bryan Hayes. Batting second, catcher, Yasmani Grandal. And batting third, center fielder, Michael Taylor. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Bottom of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Pirates. Chopper. Throw to first. One away. Paisley Pup is in here. Oh, 2 to Grandal, pitches outside. One-two pitch, chopper towards first base and foul from Yasmani Grandal. Little blooper into the gap, and it falls. One out in the third. Finally, Yasmani Grandal gets something there on Logan Gilbert. Next up is center fielder Michael Taylor. Taylor. Robles is there. 2 away. Next up, DHing for the Pirates, Andrew McCutchen. Popped up. Raley reaching over. Wow. I'm trying to get things situated here for my TV as well, so. I get Apple TV Plus and I get Netflix for free through my cell phone plan, and then I tried pulling it up, as I was rushing to make the thumbnail, and it was giving me like a little pushback, like I have to do something other than what I already did. And it looks like a re-verification process, even though everything was kind of saved on my TV. So I should be able to pop open my TV now as well, instead of just having it on the computer by itself. So one sec here. If you were wondering what I was doing, that's what I was trying to do. There it goes. Now it's got me signed in. I was about to say, I have this. Why is it giving me these like pushbacks and whatnot? All right, here we go. Perfect. Because obviously from earlier on, I was a little bit behind, and now we should be good. All right, perfect. I got it all synced up now, so now we're good. All right, here we go. Top of the fourth, 0-0. Skeens on the mound. First pitch to Polo for a strike, 0-1 count. So everything should be linked up and synced up now. Let's go, Polo. Pitches inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. From Skeens to Jorge Polanco. I was going to try to wait until a little bit later, but I'd rather be in sync with everything if possible. Pitches inside at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he sent me an oven mitt, but it looks like the picture is grainy as shit, just like as the other ones. Man, you keep sending me. When you look something up, you got to look it up with those high definition marks, bro. Like, when you look up, Taylor Swift, like oven mitt, you have to put HD next to it, and then look at like the 19 by 1920 by 1080. You know what I mean? Like, all you do is keep sending me blurry photos. Come on, my guy. If you want me to be able to show everyone your collection, you got to make sure it's crispy, icy, not blurry. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So far, I think you're 0 for 4 in the Tay merch photos. I don't think we've gotten one that has been crispy enough to really show on the stream, even though I've been showing them all. We got a reputation to uphold here based off the photos. We can't have any blurry photos on here. We got to have the HD 4K. Top of the fourth, 0-0 pitchers duel between Skeens and Gilbert. 3-2 pitch. Count is full to Polo. Pitches outside, and he walked him, baby. Yes, sir. Next up, Nuke Raley. Luke Nukem. Rails. Luke Raley. Well, Paisley was in here, and she said, Dad, I'm going to go lay down on the couch. So I said, okay. First pitch to Luke Raley, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Feels good to be all synced up there. Because those first couple innings, I was at least a batter behind, or at least it felt like 10 to 30 seconds behind. So I'm glad I got it all synced up here on the TV in the studio. We're good now. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Smash that like button if you haven't done it already. And we're going to try to hit 100 on the donos on every stream. Ball gets away from him. We'll take that. Polo to second on the pass ball by Grandal. Yes, sir. And I do like Apple TV broadcasts, because usually whenever you see their broadcasts, their cameras are usually like 8K cameras. And that's why the Apple TV Plus broadcast looks much better than like ESPN or Fox or any other channel, is because they use better equipment, and they have, more high def, more 4K, more 8K equipment, and it shows. Broadcasts are more clear, more sharp, and more swaggy. It's a lot better than like the YouTube broadcasts that they do from time to time. The Apple TV ones is pretty fresh. 3-1 pitch to Raley. Uh-oh. Luke, it's going back. It's got the distance. It's gone. Let's go. Let's go. Right center, 412 feet. Nuke Raley strikes again. 2-0 Mariners. Let's go. Yes. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Luke. Luke Nukem. Nuke Raley. Rails. Whatever you want to call them. We'll fucking take it, baby. Yes, sir. The man that has hustle and heart strikes again. Right on the sweet spot on Skeens. Way to bring that electricity, Luke Raley. Fuck yeah. Next up, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. And we already left 2 stranded in the first, 2 stranded in the second. Let's go. Captain Oreo, you got good timing, baby. As soon as you clock in, right, you clock out for work, you clock in for the NWSF. Bang! 2-run jack by Nuke Raley. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Boom. Thank you so much. $80 dono for Paisley's birthday. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Dominic Canzone. That's okay. But thank you so much for your generosity. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack. Bang, bang, bang. And again, 1 month of dog food for Paisley costs $80. You know, bones and balls and ropes, you know, they don't really get too cheap either. Thank you so much for your generosity. It means a lot to me, you know, being a dog father. And obviously, I love Paisley with all my heart. So thank you so much for your generosity. And it'll definitely go to good use with bones, balls, ropes, you know, and anything that I can do to be able to make her smile and make her happy. Thank you so much. Rojas chops that one off himself, and he goes down to the ground. Hopefully he's okay. That one looked like it hurt. I mean, I even get like teeth cleaning powder from Petco Lab. And, you know, that just like you sprinkle it on her food, comes in a small container like this big. And just for a 1 month supply of that is like $35. I used to buy greenies, but it really wouldn't clean her teeth the same way as this powder. And it's got like algae and a lot of natural ingredients, and you just sprinkle it on her food. And not only does it give her fresh breath, but it eliminates a lot of the tartar and plaque, and it eliminates a lot of the yellowing and the browning that you get on dogs' teeth, especially if you end up doing it early in their life, not after their teeth are all damaged and rotten. And like I said, I normally can't afford to buy that for every month, but I try to do it every other. But I did do it for like the first 3 or 4 months because, you know, to get a good base going. So thank you so much. And, you know, that'll definitely come in handy when I can end up affording that. And thank you so much. Reflect, you're the man. Rojas chops that one back, finding the count 0-2. We're at 92, $8 more to go. Thank you, man. It's her birthday today. She turns 3. And, you know, last year until this year, you know, once I ended up getting away from toxic individuals and, you know, I moved back with family, just didn't really have any other choice. I didn't have any other friends that I could trust to move in with. And, it's probably been one of the happiest years of my life. I won't lie. Sometimes you're not able to live with family, you know, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, a cousin, you know, just because, you know, sometimes it's just not a good fit, you know, and luckily for me, you know, regardless if it's going to be like mom or dad or other family, I don't have any issues with any of them. So thank God. And, you know, we got a nice situation lined up here. Got him at first. Wow, to end the inning. I don't know about that one. That one was close. Yeah, I feel like I try to treat her as like the top 1%, you know, out of, you know, people that are out there. Not every person deserves to have a dog, you know, and again, if, you know, you're one of those individuals that doesn't like cat or dogs, you know, I'm not going to say that is a major red flag, but a lot of times if you don't have any attachment to any animal, it kind of is a red flag, because the way that you treat animals will kind of transition on how you treat humans. So if you treat dogs and cats like shit, you're going to probably treat humans like shit and friends like shit as well. And, you know, if you end up treating, you know, cats and dogs and kittens and pups with all the love, chances are you're going to treat human beings with a little bit more love and empathy and sympathy. And I feel that is true. And dogs and cats are very good with their aura and vibe. So if a cat or a dog doesn't like you, that might be a red flag too, because a lot of times they can judge people's aura if they're a good person or a suspect person or a bad person. Big facts. $2 holla, Captain Oreo, adding on to the Paisley Pup cause for her birthday today. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or two, and I got you. We're at 94, 6 more to go. Yeah, well, if you're allergic, that's one thing. But if you're not allergic, that's something else, Like I said, like even with like, my ex, like, I could already tell, dogs are very, very keen, on, people. And I'm just really blessed that Paisley chose me and I chose her. It's made all the difference in my life, especially if you have like addiction or depression or anxiety. And it's one thing, if you have a dog to be able to help you get out of the depression, but you have to make sure that you're not in it for just the puppy phase or the kitten phase. When you end up adopting a dog or a cat, whether it's, from the shelter, whether you buy one or you end up getting it as a gift, you have to realize this is not a temporary thing where you only take care of it while it looks cute like a baby and then you just give up on it, and you don't treat it the same way as it gets older. And I feel even though Paisley is 3, I think she is just as beautiful as she was when she was a baby. And I think I treat her even better now, just knowing that she's getting older, and also because she's a female and I have to make sure I baby her and make sure that I can give her all the love. Not that I wouldn't give a dog that was a boy, the same kind of love I would, but I feel, being a girl and being a female pup and being a little bit more sensitive to certain things, it definitely has brought out the dog father in me, and I have plenty of empathy and sympathy, and I just want to make sure that she has the best life possible. Megan with a tour. Are you allergic to dogs and cats, or just one or the other? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. I mean, I think there's been situations that I've been allergic to some like cat dander, but I don't think I'm necessarily allergic to all cats. I definitely prefer dogs over cats, but I'm more of a dog person, but I'm not like, it's not like I hate cats or hate kittens. I understand why people have that attachment, We're in the bottom of the 4th, 2-1 count, 2-0 Mariners and Pirates. And if you're just tuning in, Logan Gilbert and Skeens have been wheeling and dealing, but we had a Nuke Raley bomb by Luke Raley, 412 feet to right center. Polo was on board, 2-0 Mariners. Skeens, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. The 3 walks is pretty surprising. And then Gilbert, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. So if you're looking at the numbers, Gilbert, and he just had a walk there. So now Gilbert has, I believe, 2. But it's pretty even with the matchup so far here. Both. All but grays as they don't shed. Oh, okay. Now, is your whole family allergic to dogs and cats, or is it just you? When you were growing up, did you ever have a pet? Like a fish or something else? Like could you have like a hamster or gerbil or fish? Is there any type of animal that you had growing up as a young adult or a kid? Just you? Fish. Okay. I was going to say there must have been something that you probably had to, be able to vibe with at some point. Most kids and young adults go through at least a phase of having something. Bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Seattle. Runner at first, 0-2 count to O'Neal Cruz. Pitches outside, 1-2 count. But thank you to Reflect. Thank you to Megan. Thank you to Captain Oreo, everyone that has been supporting. And again, Paisley will be very, very happy. Little dribbler. Gilbert, run to first. Nice toe tap. And I always get worried when we get bunts or we get slow roll dribblers. And then you know that the first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman might flip it to the pitcher. And then the pitcher has got to be able to run to first and catch the flip. And he's got to look down and make sure he steps on the bag and doesn't trip over himself, doesn't sprain an ankle, trip on the bag, get stepped on by the first, that runner that's going to first. And it always makes me a little bit nervous when I see a pitcher running hard to first base to get that out. But luckily there was no damage done, and now we have one away. Next up is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, former Yankee. 283 average, 7 homers in 2024. Kiner-Falefa down to left field, all the way back to the wall. That's going to bring home a run. 2-1 Mariners. Wow, Kiner-Falefa, great play right there. Now, when you had your grandmother's cat, were you allergic to that cat, or were you able to be around that particular cat? But you said all but the grays. Was the grandmother cat gray? Next up for the Pirates, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Definitely gives you that Jared Vogelback, Carlos Santana, Mike Ford vibes. That seems like a player that, one day maybe the Mariners would be looking at DH, even though we got Justin Turner now. But he definitely fits the profile of Jared Vogelback or Mike Ford. A little bit bigger, a lot of power, big tree trunks for legs, is going to strike out a lot, but when he connects, he'll be able to hit a home run, right? 249 average, 9 homers and 39 ribbies, 0 for 1 with a pop-out, Rowdy Tellez. He might not be as legendary or iconic as Roddy Piper, here from Oregon. Rest in peace. Legend and icon. I even got a figure in the drawer here of our boy Roddy Piper, but Rowdy Tellez. Oh, Grays and Greyhounds. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I was about to say. You were used to her, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, good. Have you ever known anybody to have a greyhound in Australia? Have you ever had any family member or friends? Are greyhounds popular in Australia? Have you ever known anyone that has had one that you've had interactions with? Pitches low and into the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike to Rowdy Tellez. Oh, the friends have him. Nice. Little flip. 2 away. Runner advances to third. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa goes to third. Tellez grounds out to second. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Mariners. Next up, right fielder, the former Miami Marlin, Bryan De La Cruz. And if you remember, we were talking before the trade deadline that Bryan De La Cruz and Brent Rooker, if we didn't get some other bigger names like Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner, that those would be 2 additional fits. But unfortunately, De La Cruz ended up getting traded to the Pirates, and Brent Rooker was so good that the A's could not let him go, and I don't blame them. They may not have anybody show up to their games, but Brent Rooker is a stud. He'll be good anywhere he goes. Going for a walk? Yeah, I'll still be here. Appreciate you, Reflect. We're at 94, $6 more to hit the goal for Paisley's birthday. Take a look to see where we're at on the likes as well. All right, we're at 21. We need 9 more likes to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 22. 8 more to go to hit the goal. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 4th. 2 outs. Runner at third. 1-0 count to Bryan De La Cruz. Pitch inside. 2-0 count. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 count. Let's go, Logan. Keep wheeling and dealing. You're playing great. You're matching Skeens pitch for pitch. Chopper. One hopper. Got him. Great job. If that throw was off, it would have easily been a 2-2 tie. Wow, Rivas, you end up getting a gold medal right there, baby. I know we just had the Olympics there in France, but Rivas with a gold medal throw to first to Luke Raley to get Brian De La Cruz to save the game, and now it still stays 2-1. Nice job. Hell yeah. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 0 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. Let's go, baby. Oh, nice. Sarah in the building. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oh, really, Kip? Awesome. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that we go through on the daily or have in the past. So if you're struggling a little bit, recognize your triggers, recognize what makes you happy and not happy, and make sure that you're putting out an effort every single day. If you're not eating healthy, eat healthier. I mean, the way that fast food prices have gone up with inflation, it actually costs the same amount to eat healthy than to buy fast food. Back in the day, eating healthy, right, cost a lot more. But now when you go to McDonald's and Burger King, Wendy's, and all these places, if you want to get a burger and a meal, instead of it being like $5, you're paying 10 to 20 now. So if you end up making an effort and a conscientious effort to be able to eat healthier, you'll come out on the other side looking better, feeling better. Exercising is another thing. If you're not doing it, do it. You end up exercising a little bit more. You'll look good. You'll feel good. And like Dion says, you play good. And number 3, make sure you're listening to music every single day. 30 minutes of music is all you need to trigger the brain and the mental health on a positive note, and to make sure you're spending time with friends and pets. Don't ignore your cats or your dogs. Make sure you're giving them the best life that they can. And if you do these basic things, you'll come out on the other side a little bit quicker, and you'll be able to win the day. Let's go. Top of the 5th, 2-1 Mariners, baby. And if you're just tuning in, Paisley Pup's birthday today. She turns 3. Top of the 4th, Luke Raley, homer to right center, 412 feet with Polo on board on Skeens, 2-0 Mariners. And then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee, just doubled to left. Reynolds scored and made it 2-1. Throw to first to Victor Robles, 1 away. Come on, Victor, we need you, baby. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Top of the 5th with 1 out. 1-0 pitch from Skeens to Randy Arozarena. Pitches outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Chopper towards third, foul. Top of the 5th, 2-1 Mariners. Great game so far. Much better than that Tigers series where we got swept. And again, we had George Kirby versus Scooball twice. First time we lost 6-2. Really wasn't all George Kirby's fault. But then the second start, when we ended up getting them in Detroit at Comerica Park, we got absolutely blasted 15-1. So, but I'm definitely excited about this matchup. In a matter of 2.5 weeks, you know, we've been able to see 2 of the top 3 pitchers. Obviously with Scooball, lefty, Skeens, best righty. And obviously we know Chris Sale is up there as one of the best as well as a lefty. Got a lot of kids in the stands with little Skeens mustaches. I love it. Randy. Back. All the way to the warning track and caught. Wow. Unbelievable effort. Brian Reynolds. All the way in left field. That would have easily been a double, maybe even a triple if he would have missed that. Wow. Skeens got lucky there. All right, Randy, next time. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 0 for 2. Let's go 1 for 3, baby. Let's go, Cal. Big swing and a miss. Finding the count 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Pitch low at the knees, behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, anyone that's got like depression or anxiety or addiction or got any issues, I highly recommend hanging out here. You know, like I said, and I'm not going to be able to be live for your whole day, you know, but again, if you want to spend, you know, a good 2.5 hours feeling good, interacting with great people, you know, watching sports or wrestling together, you know, sometimes that's all you need to kind of get back on track. You know, when you're having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year, you know, sounding like Friends, the sitcom, but you know, it's true. You know, and when you surround yourself around good people, kind of stay away from the toxic people and eliminate them the best that you can, and you go places where you're liked and you're wanted and you feel comfortable, you know, and it really does make all the difference. And that's why I like using this platform for positivity here. We already go through so much negativity in life that it's nice to be able to have a 2.5 hour, 3 hour space each day where you can come in, say hello, hang out, vibe with me, vibe with the other people in the room. And maybe, you know, in the rest of the day might be a little shitty, but for at least 2.5 hours, you know, like when people play video games, they like to escape. You can come to the NWSF and you can escape here and kind of escape some of the problems and the heartache and the issues that are going on in life. And I know it gets tough, you know, ever since COVID happened, things have been really tough for a lot of people. And again, you know, I'll always be grinding on this channel, you know, until I die. So it's not like I'm going to quit ever. And I will always have a positive place here. Toast in the building. What's good? The toast from the coast, baby. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh. Skeens with another K. Let's go to the bottom of the fifth. See who's up here next for the Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, third baseman, 0 for 1, P. Brian Hayes. Batting second, catcher, 1 for 1, Yasmani Grandal. And batting third, 0 for 1, center fielder, Michael Taylor. We threw up some vintage Mariner photos. I know Reflect went to go on a walk, but had a big dono to be able to get us closer to our goal for Paisley Pup. All donos today will go towards Paisley Pup's birthday, whether it's Venmo, Cash App, or the Super Chat through YouTube. So thank you so much. But it was kind of funny. I was talking about Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. today with family, talking about how they're professional photographers now. And Randy even goes like to South America, Africa. And a lot of times Ken Griffey Jr., you know, he'll end up, you know, doing more like games, baseball, basketball, football, Olympics, you know, and kind of doing that realm, more of the sports realm. Randy does the same thing, but he also does like nature stuff, you know, and he pitched at USC, and this was his first love before, you know, before baseball. And then after he retired, he went back to his first passion, which is photography. And it's very cool to be able to see some of the stuff that both guys have put out within the last couple years. And it's really cool too. I was digging through my collection and I ended up finding some of my vintage posters that I had of Ken Griffey Jr. when I was a kid. I found 2 when I was 7, and I still have them. And then I found another one when I was 10. So I got 2 of them from 1989, and then I got another one from 1992. And again, I decided to be able to hang them up in the studio. And gosh, man, it is awesome to be able to see, these vintage posters. One of them is Ken Griffey Jr. just kind of like in a locker room. The other one is in the locker with his dad, Ken Griffey Sr. And then another one is like surrounded by flames as Ken Griffey Jr. is hitting a home run. So pretty awesome, man. Bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Mariners. If you're just tuning in to the matchup, Skeens versus Gilbert, and it hasn't disappointed. 2 hits for Mariners, 2 hits for Pittsburgh. In the top of the 4th, Luke Raley homered to right center, 412 feet. Polanco was on board, 2-0 Mariners. Then in the bottom of the 4th, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee, doubled the left. Reynolds scored, and making it a 2-1 game. And again, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Mariners, and 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Pittsburgh. And as far as pitching stats, Skeens, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. The 3 walks is a little unusual. 80 pitches, 49 strikes, 2.32 ERA. But Logan Gilbert has matched him. He actually struck out the first 4 batters, waved the whole side in the first inning, and got the first batter in the second. 4.1 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk, and 5 Ks. So they're really neck and neck as far as pitching. We're talking about 11 Ks total. Uh-oh, that one's going long. That one's going deep. Back. Yasmani Grandal. Bye. And that is a solo jack on Logan Gilbert. And Yasmani Grandal says, take that. And now we have a 2-2 tie. Wow. What a game. Much better than the Tiger series, but I don't like Logan Gilbert giving up that solo jack there. But again, you got a solo jack here for Yasmani Grandal. We got a 2-run homer by Luke Raley. I guess that's how it goes. But it's a very entertaining matchup. Let's go. Absolutely. I got that on the desk over here as well. I got a Ken Griffey Jr. mural. I got every single Ken Griffey Jr. starting lineup. I got all the McFarlands, the Cincinnati Red, and then the, McFarland special. Obviously, there's a couple Clark's edition specials. And then I got the Chase figure, which is my most expensive sports figure, usually worth about $250 to $350 for the Ken Griffey Jr., where it comes with the wall, stunner shades, and obviously robbing a home run. So little dribbler going towards left field for another base knock. Now they're starting to beat up a little bit on Logan Gilbert. Nice hit there by Michael Taylor, the center fielder. Next up, DHing for Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. But I'm telling you, man, to be able to hang up these posters in the studio and to be able to look at these posters that I haven't seen since, I was a kid, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, man. I mean, everyone's had a room when they were a kid growing up where they, had different posters. Sometimes it might have been, Sports Illustrated, individuals. Wild throw to second. And Michael Taylor scampers to third. But sometimes people would have models, male or female on their walls, depending on who it was, or Sports Illustrated swimsuit models, or sometimes athletes and whatnot. But, mine was always Ken Griffey Jr., obviously, since I ended up meeting him when I was 7. And, Ken Griffey Jr. and my dad are both the heroes for me. And it's just nice to be able to kind of tap into a collection of vintage posters that are rare, that I haven't seen in a long, long time. And, just nice to be able to have them up in the studio, to be able to glance over and see them again. It kind of reminds me of going back to being 7 to 10 years old all over again. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 game, Mariners and Pirates, Gilbert and Skeens. It hasn't disappointed. 1 out, and next up is a 1-1 count to Andrew McCutchen. And also today is a very special day if you're tuning in. It is my Paisley Pup's American Staffy birthday today. She turns 3. So any donos that we get on Venmo, Cash App, or the YouTube Super Chat are going to go towards gifts for my Paisley pup. Happy birthday, Paisley. 2-1 pitch from Gilbert to McCutchen. Pitches outside at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. Depot Bay, Oregon. Nice. Hell yeah. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. He was going for a big home run right there. A 2-run blast. But Logan smokes him there. Thank God. Just a little bit behind there. And since we got swept by the Tigers, we have to find a way to win this game. But Logan is giving us a chance. We just need the bats to heat up a little bit more. And again, whoever gets to 4 first might be the team that wins this matchup. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That'll be the key stat for every single game that we go against Pittsburgh. And we have to play the next 2 games at like 10 a.m., which doesn't really suit us that well. But McCutchen popped up. The wind catches that, though. Coming down to Randy Arosarena, tagging up from third. Michael Taylor, throw home. Safe. Damn it. Randy's throw was not good enough. And Michael Taylor scores 3-2 Pittsburgh. Nice base running there by Michael Taylor. And I wish Randy would have given that a little bit more oomph on that throw, and maybe Cal would have been able to tag him. Just missed him. Next up, left fielder Brian Reynolds. Come on, Randy. You got to have a better arm than that. Off the one hopper, but just out of position. You threw it too far to the left instead of at home plate. And then when Cal caught it, he had to reach. And by the time he reached, Michael passed him. Good base running by Michael Taylor. And I never got the Upper Deck card, in packs when I was a kid, the Toast. But I did end up getting the card at a card shop, years later when I was like, 20. I was like, you know what? I have to get this Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck card. And I think I ended up getting the second year Upper Deck, the 1991 in a pack. But I have, almost every rookie card as well. Uh-oh. Fucking error by the Mariners. Jorge Polanco, what are you doing? Reynolds safe at first on a fielding error by Polo. Just when we thought Polo was going to get back to being a better defender, he fucks up again and gives up a single with 2 outs in a 3-2 game. Come on, Polo. Fuck. Routine play. Come on. Bullshit. Next up, shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. And it hit him right on the back of the glove. Fucking A, dude. Let him know, Kip. Polo with another error. But he hasn't had an error in a minute, but still, that not a great time to be able to do it. But the Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card is epic. It's obviously one of the most famous cards, in the junk wax era. And that was the very first year Upper Deck was born. And they decided to put, Ken Griffey Jr. as card number 1 for a reason, knowing the hype around him. And I still have the card to this day. And it's a beautiful card. They got a lot of good ones, though. Fleer card is cool. Don Ross, the Bowman, Tops traded, the other Tops. I mean, there's a lot of them. He's the GOAT. Bottom of the 5th. Runner at first with 2 outs. 3-2. O'Neal Cruz pops up. Robles and Randy Arosarena are there. And we finally get out of the inning, but not after a big Yasmani Grandal solo jack. And then after that, McCutchen hit a sacrifice to left to score Michael Taylor. And now we're down a run. We're down 3-2. It's not over yet, but not exactly what we want to be able to see here. Yeah, Reflect. I don't know if you probably were taking a walk, but I was telling the people in the chat I was doing some digging inside of my garage and a lot of my boxes because I have like literally 20 or 30 moving boxes full to the brim, of toys, collectibles, posters, Sports Illustrated, what you name it, I got it, right? And I ended up finding my vintage posters of Ken Griffey Jr., 2 of them from when I was 7 in first grade in 1989 in Griffey's rookie year, and then another one when I was 10, with the year that I met Koufax. And I think I was in 4th grade in 1992. Very cool. I'll send you photos of them so you can check them out, but they are amazing. Here, I'll send it to you here real quick so you can take a little peek. The one on the far left is pretty fucking rare. The one in the middle and the far right are a little bit more common, but they are very, very cool. No Tay-Tay merch. Never been a fan of her, and I don't know if I ever will be. And here, I'll do individual photos too, so you can check these out. I sent them to my boy Justin too, and he was like, "Damn!" But I just sent it to you on text message. So the first one is all three in the studio, and then obviously individual what they look like. Pretty cool, man. I mean, it brought me back to when I was a fucking kid again. Oh, 1985 state champs, Hanford over Linwood. Nice. 2 runs and an RBI. The Toast with the most. My boy. Toast is from Oregon as well. Let's go. AM in the building. Depot Bay, Oregon. I love it. Have you lived in Depot Bay? You know, a good chunk of your Oregon, Washington, Pacific Northwest. Have you lived in Oregon, Washington your whole life, or are you a transplant? Have you moved from another location? Have you lived in Oregon, Washington area, Pacific Northwest? Man, if I can end up having that happen one day, that would be amazing. It would probably be the only time that I probably would get a little choked up. Uh-oh, Julio, all the way back to the left wall, and he's running very gingerly, but doesn't have to push it, and gets a stand-up double to help the Mariners out. There we go, Julio. Nice job, J-Rod. Yes, sir, Julio Rodriguez. Doing some damage there at DH. Welcome back. No Justin Turner in the lineup, since Julio is DHing and they have Raley at first. Who would you rather have at, well, I mean, Luke Raley homered today, so obviously we can't say, oh, we would rather have Justin Turner than Luke Raley today because Luke Raley hit the home run. But on a normal given day, reflect, who would you rather have? Luke Raley at first, or would you rather have Justin Turner at first? Who do you think is a better defender and hitter? It's like, I think Justin Turner might be a better hitter normally, you know, and I think he might be a little bit better of a defender than Luke at first as well. But Luke's not that far behind Justin Turner, I think. But again, if they think Luke Raley is a better first baseman and they want to exclusively keep, you know, Turner only at DH for the most part, and then emergency first baseman, or I guess just whatever the pitcher status is, if he's a righty or a lefty, that probably has more to do with it. Until we actually get Julio back healthy, then we can figure out another spot possibly for Luke Raley, but it seems like that might be the case. Popped up. Polo. One away. Julio tags up from second to third. There we go, Julio. 2017. Nice. I mean, obviously, you know, Jordan, you know, Bird, you know, Griffey, you know, obviously some of the people that I grew up watching and idolizing and just, you know, being in awe of. But obviously Ken Griffey Jr. would probably be like literally the most special. Sandy Koufax would be cool too, just for me and my dad, and I already met him once. Very polite, you know, guy, and a Hall of Famer as well. But obviously, you know, him being a Dodger fan and me being a Mariner fan, that would be the ultimate for me, you know. Griffey would be amazing. Ichiro would be amazing. Randy Johnson would be amazing. Edgar Martinez would be amazing. Hell, even Julio and Cal, you know, and a lot of the guys on the current team would be amazing as well. But definitely Griffey would be number one. Yeah, I just think that if I had to grade like on a 1 to 10 scale, you know, I would probably go, you know, Justin Turner as a hitter 8 and as a defender 8, and I think I would go Luke Raley 7-7. And I don't think it's like that much of a difference. It's like 1 point difference, you know. And every once in a while, you know, Luke will go crazy like he did today with a 2-run blast. But I'm thinking like, who's more likely to get a single every game that they play, or at least to go 1 for 4 or 2 for 4? And I think Turner has got a little bit better of a ratio. You know, it's like he might be able to go 1 for 4, 2 for 4, maybe 3 out of 5 games. But Luke Raley might only go 1 for 4, 2 out of 4, maybe 1 or 2 games out of 5. So it's almost as good as Justin Turner, but maybe one game where you just get a donut and you get 0 for 4, and then the other guy gets maybe a hit and maybe makes a couple more defensive plays. But it's not that big of a difference. But, I still want Justin Turner to be playing, every day. And I don't know what that means for Luke Raley, if we can find another spot for him, because really he only plays outfield, right? Or first base or DH. So if they already have someone at DH and Julio's there, and they already have someone at first base like Turner, then does that mean that Luke Raley just gets the day off? It's like I want to be able to have the best players playing, but it is Scott Service running this team too. So Richland, nice. Outside Philly, nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, out of the people that I watched, some of the greatest talent, but I don't think I've seen any better hitters, besides Pete Rose, Tony Gwynn, and Ichiro. If we're just, being honest, guys that don't strike out, guys that are consistent at 300, for their careers, and guys that would hustle and give you everything that they got. But I don't think I've seen anybody better than those 3 hitters. Now, as far as like the best players playing right now, obviously are Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, and those guys are ridiculous. Those guys are first ballot Hall of Fame. But if we're going back, to just pure hitters, like leadoff hitters, or guys that could bat 1, 2, 3, 4, and but they are more of like a leadoff hitter, I don't think I've seen anybody better than Charlie Hustle, Tony Gwynn, and Ichiro. Those are the 3 best that I've ever seen, period. And there's a lot of other guys that are close, but those guys are ridiculous, those 3. 3-2 pitch. Skeens to Raley. Almost got him in the knee, and he walked him. Dustin in the building. Walla Walla in the building. What's good? Oh, Rod Carew is up there too. But I'm not sure if I would put Rod Carew above Ichiro, Tony Gwynn, or Pete Rose, though. Maybe Rod Carew is number 4. And again, some people don't know who he is, because it was before their time. But if you actually look at like batting titles, and they have a lot of photos of like Tony Gwynn and Rod Carew together, so they definitely dominated back in that time period for sure. Yeah. It's ridiculous. That's insane to think, and obviously in this day and age, you only have like 10 or 12 batters that are batting over 300. So, but those 4 guys, man, I mean, is there anyone else that you would throw in there, Reflect, that you can think of off the top of your head? Rod Carew, Ichiro, Pete Rose, and Tony Gwynn as far as pure hitters. Guys that hit over 300, guys that were impact guys that did it with consistency for longevity. Double play ball. Got him. We leave 2 stranded again. 3 times against Skeens. Fucking A. Dominic Canzone. Right. And sometimes, you're going to get someone that has more hits. Sometimes you're going to get guys that have a better average, or you're going to have guys that didn't strike out like Tony Gwynn. Like if you look at all the guys' totals and look at the minimal amount that guy struck out against Hall of Fame guys that were going against him, going against Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez and Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, it's ridiculous. And I have like a thread of like Tony Gwynn's accomplishments compared to everyone else that he was playing with at that time. And obviously, if you look at the eras, it was like Rod Carew and Pete Rose, that was before. Then after those guys were kind of getting wrapped up, then you had Tony Gwynn. And then once Tony Gwynn was wrapped up, then you had Ichiro. So it's kind of like you'll end up having a couple guys, then they fade away and retire. Then you have another guy that ends up taking over, Pete Rose and Rod Carew and like Gwynn. And then after he's ready to go, then you got another one in Ichiro. So, man. We're at 96, 4 more. That's crazy, though. 328 over 19 years. What was the lowest batting average that Rod Carew had? That's just insane, man. And you got to think right now with the hundreds of players that are playing right now in MLB, and we only have like 10 or 12 that are batting over 300, you can tell the league has changed tremendously. Let's see where we're at on the likes. Where are we at? All right, we're at 27. We're almost there. We only need 3 more likes to get to 30. 2 more likes to get to 30. And then hopefully we can get close to 40 before the stream ends. But only 2 more. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. It'll help us with our metrics and our algorithm. And it works. Hell, I did a 10 a.m. stream and we got over 1,000 people to watch because we got over that 50 like period. So, when you can get 40, 50 likes, it can get you 200 to 300 more people, either with recommendations. People are browsing, on YouTube and they're looking for something to watch. And you never know when we get a random baseball fan that will be a part of the NWSA family, or maybe a Pirate fan looking for a stream to watch and he can't find a Pittsburgh Pirate streamer. So last year was his worst, 280, and 280 is ridiculous. Wow. Fuck, that's crazy. All right, we're in the bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Pirates. Gilbert has done everything in his power to keep us close, but we need those bats to open up, and they have, but we've left 2 stranded 3 times. So in all honesty, we could be sitting at a 4, 5, 6 run outing right now. We could be up by a run, 2 runs, 3 runs if we would have cashed in those innings, or if we at least cashed in on one of those 3 innings. So bunt attempt. Kiner Falefa. And a wild throw to first. Wow. And that's why bunting is so efficient, that if you bunt, everyone runs around with their head cut off. And if you end up making a wild throw to first, you can get a double out of a bunt, just like Isaiah Kiner Falefa just did. That's why we need to be bunting a little bit more. People, it's a lost art. And I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks. Hell, I got a Ken Griffey Jr. Starting lineup with him bunting. They did every single pose over a 10, 11-year period when they had starting lineups from 1988 all the way to 2000, and they were running out of poses for Griffey to do. And in the last couple years, they had him kneeling, obviously in the batter's box, and then they had one where he was bunting. And of course, I ended up buying those. And, you got to be able to bunt. It's huge. Kiner Falefa with the bunt, little dribbler by Rowdy Tellez, throw to first, 1 away. Nice job by Isaiah Kiner Falefa. A guy that was probably a forgotten piece for the Yankees, and they kind of treated him like trash, but he shows you, he can still make plays. Rowdy Tellez grounded out to second, Kiner Falefa to third. Next up, right fielder, the former Miami Marlin, Brian De La Cruz, a player that the Mariners were looking at as well. Megan with a tenner, thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Captain Oreo, Megan, and Reflect. You guys let me know what you want for photos, and I got you. If you don't care about the photos, no worries, but I got you. There's Walla Walla onion rings. Yeah, you can fail 7 times out of 10, and it's crazy, right? You hit 1 out of 10, you might not have a job. You hit 2 out of 10, you might be in the major leagues, but you'll probably get sent down, to the farm system. And then if you hit 3 out of 10, just 1 more from being in the farm system or barely making it in the big leagues. You hit 3 out of 10, you're going to be a multimillionaire, because you don't get guys that are hitting 4 out of 10. And if you do, they're only doing it for a short period. There's no Ted Williams playing anymore, or like a Tony Gwynn. You're not going to see guys. And I'm not sure if you're ever going to see a guy hit 400, for a season. You might be able to get a guy hitting 400 for a month or 2. I think that might be possible, but it's very difficult. Hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do in sports. And it's not like there's only 1 pitch being thrown. Now, if there was only 1 pitch being thrown, yeah, I think that there would be a chance for guys to hit 400 if it was just 4-seam fastball, or 2-seam fastball, and that was just the only pitch that was thrown. But nowadays, pitchers can pitch, the elite ones, 4, 5, 6 different pitches. And they usually have 3 or 4 that are their wheelhouse, and then 1 or 2 are like, those backup pitches that they'll throw in there once in a while, but not often. So, bottom of the 6th, runner at third, 3-2 Pirates with 1 out. Brian De La Cruz in the box. Okay, I got you. I'll have to send them to Matt, and then I'll pull them from there. Unless I can pull it from my my Instagram or my Twitter /X here. but I'll get you some photos. Cal Raleigh for Captain Oriel, got you. Strike 3, Logan Gilbert. Let's go. Brian De La Cruz, bye-bye. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, third baseman, Key Brian Hayes. Let's get the Cal Raleighs here. Appreciate you, Captain Oriel. Love me some Big Dumper. Next up is Key Brian Hayes, third baseman. 0 for 2 with a K. So far, 237 average, 4 homers, and 25 ribbies. Stand Up Rivera in the building. What's good? How are you? Go M's. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Pirates. So it's not letting me format it like to my liking on the Instagram. So I'm going to pull them from just my phone, and then I'll send them to Matt, and then I'll pull them from his Twitter/X, and then I'll throw up some photos of the Paisley pup. Pitch right down the middle for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball. Ribas is there. There we go. Skeens is done. All right, let's get some of these photos up here. The most precious thing to me on planet Earth, and my life has been changed forever with Paisley Pup. And I can't imagine living without her. And she saved me, I saved her. And my mental health hasn't been better. I haven't had a bad day since I, broke up with the ex-girlfriend, moved away, ended up, coming in with family. And I've been able to, lose 90 pounds, get Paisley down to a good weight. She lost about 15 or 20 pounds herself. And she's happy. She's healthy. She's got good quality food. For treats, she gets strawberries, blueberries, and watermelon. So, she's literally living her best life. And she gets a lot of love and attention from Dad every single day. She never gets ignored. She gets, plays catch. We play with the bone, the rope, all kinds of different toys. And that's really a big part of it, making sure that you're engaged, with your pets as well. And on top of that, we do about an hour and a half to 2 hours of walking 7 days a week. And, most dog parents, don't do that. So again, and I want to make sure that she is happy and she's healthy. And for every one day that, a dog lives, that's like a week, for, them, and one individual day for us. So and once you understand that, for every one day, for a dog is like a week, for them, you start to understand and, reflect a little bit differently on your actions and your words, instead of saying that, oh yeah, I'm going to play with you and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but actually doing it. Saying is one thing, but obviously actions speak louder than words. But you can tell she is very happy, very healthy, and obviously the love of my life. Paisley Pup, happy birthday. You are 3 years old. You are the cutest thing ever. American Staffies for life. That was the very first day that she moved in with me, and she realized that she was going to be with me forever. And you can tell with that smile. And that's a recent picture of us on a long, long walk. So love you. Hope you enjoyed those. I hope so, man. Glad to see you back, Stand Up Rivera. I remember you from the Cubs series back in the early in the season. Now we got Nicolas on the mound for Skeens, and this will be our good opportunity for Hollywood, Josh Rojas and company to be able to get something going. Let's go Hollywood. Yeah, but if the Mariners end up missing the playoffs, by a game and a half a game, we're going to go back and look at that Tiger series, the White Sox, the Angels, and a lot of those series where we should have won 2 out of 3, or even maybe possibly swept. But unfortunately, we ended up winning 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, or getting swept. And, that's not going to cut it. When you got 2 teams like the Astros and Rangers that are quality, you have to be able to take care of the teams that you're supposed to beat. Now, obviously, if we end up beating teams that we're not supposed to beat, Phillies, Dodgers, Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, Twins, Royals, or teams that will be a little bit harder, and we can end up winning 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 there to make up for it, fine. But again, every team plays down to the competition, which we did against the Tigers. And at least today, we're playing up to the competition with Skeens on the mound and obviously Logan Gilbert. Top of the 7th, 3-2 Pirates with 1 out. Next up is Leo Rivas. We're at 96, or we're at 106. 94 to get to 2. Two 1 pitch. Popped up foul. Come on, Rivas. Two pitch. Pitches low at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Leo Rivas. The Kenny Dillon. Nice. Hell yeah, man. Keep doing them, man. I enjoy them. And like I said, some people, it's not going to make sense to them because it's so complex with the route running and the play calling, XYZ for the receivers. They don't get what that means. But if you play Madden or college football, or you played football growing up, or you're very in tune with football, those things will make sense to the right people. And keep posting those. I mean, some are going to get more traction than others, but you do a good job with what you're doing. Popped up. Taylor in center field is there for Rivas. Flied out to center. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3, Victor Robles. Okay, I'll sprinkle in some photos for you once we get in between innings here. Big swing and a miss by Victor Robles. Come on, Victor. We need you. When Victor Robles has a good game, the Mariners usually win 9 times out of 10. He sets the tone early and often, but as of late, he hasn't been getting a whole lot of hits in his first 2 at-bats, and we need to get him back to that point where he was getting a hit right in that first at bat, either in the first 2 pitches. You know, they're trying to get ahead in the count with those strikes, but hopefully he can get a hit here to go at least 1 for 4. Come on, Victor. We need a rally. Mariner Moose coming up. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. 2 balls and 1 strike. Robles popped up into center field to Taylor, but he's there. And then that is the end of the top of the 7th inning. Griffey. It's my boy. Trout and Griffey. Unfortunately, that Trout is starting to get the Griffey bug, though, with injuries. Started off his first, 8, 9, 10 years healthy, and then, now is starting to turn into Ken Griffey Jr. in those last 10 years where he was riddled with injuries. Because if Griffey would have had 15 healthy years and 5 injury-prone years, Griffey would have easily been the #1 home run king, and with no steroids or PEDs. And that always gives him an advantage over a lot of the other guys. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, catcher 2 for 2 with a run, RBI and a solo blast, Yasmani Grandal. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, center fielder Michael Taylor. And batting third, 0 for 2 with an RBI and a K, DHing for Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen. Let's go through these Paisley Pup photos one more time, and then I'll make some room for Megan's photos. Happy birthday, Paisley Pup. You're beautiful. I love you. And I couldn't imagine my life without you. Top 1%. Not everyone deserves a dog. But she's more than a dog. She's a family member. She's my daughter. I'm the dog father, and she's one of my best friends. She's really helped me when I was in a very, very dark place for quite some time, so... See if I can sprinkle in a couple of these for Megan real quick. And if there's anything else you want besides Glen Powell and Anson, let me know, like Seahawks or Kraken or anything like that, or anything else that's on your mind that would make you smile, let me know, and I got you. Gilbert out there still. I like that. First pitch to Yasmani Grandal. Little dribbler. Throw to first. 1 away. I like that. Fast start. Next up, center fielder, Michael Taylor. And if you want to watch along, it's on Apple TV+. Usually they'll end up having some subscriptions that typically end up being free for like the first month or 2 or a discounted rate. Or if you end up having T-Mobile, I had Sprint originally in T-Mobile, and if you actually look at your package, you can end up getting Netflix included with your phone plan, depending on what plan you have, as well as Apple TV+. So obviously I'm going to take advantage of getting Netflix for free and Apple TV Plus for free. The Mariners aren't really going to be on Apple TV Plus more than just a couple times a year, but it's always nice to be able to watch it on the TV in the studio rather than on the computer. Connor Williams and some Greyhounds. Good choice. Pitches low at the knees to Michael Taylor. 2 balls and no strikes. Come on, Logan. Let's go, baby. We need you. You've been doing great. I mean, it's 3-2. And you got to assume that's what you're going to do. Normally give up as a pitcher, 1 to 3 runs. Let's go, Logan. We just need that offense to, get a little bit better. We got to get to 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. When the Mariners score 1 to 3 runs, we have like 4 wins and 40+ losses. Not going to cut it. We're not a good 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 kind of team. That's not who we are. We have to find a way. And we left what did we leave? We left the guys on the corners. We left 2 on 3 separate times. First, second, and I believe the 6th inning. And that's not going to cut it. We have to make sure that we get those guys knocked in at least 1 out of those 3 innings. We're 20 subs away from 20,400. We ended up gaining a sub there as well. We did a morning broadcast yesterday, got over 1,000, which was great. And right now we're at over 575 already. I was actually surprised we didn't get more people to come through, but again, some people are still at work. If the game was on at 5, 6, or 7 p.m., I imagine we would have got more people for Gilbert and Skeens. Because, even if you're not a Gilbert or Skeens fan, you already know that those are 2 all-stars, and that's one of the best pitching matchups of the year, just like Scooball and Kirby was twice for us. All right, he ends up walking him. Taylor, now we got one of the OGs for Pittsburgh, DHing for the Pirates, Andrew McCutchen. 0 for 2 with an RBI and a K. And we got Scott Service with a mound visit here. I think it's over now for Logan Gilbert. So Gilbert is done. And hopefully that is a good decision. Hopefully, I still think Gilbert could have finished this inning, but we'll see if it ends up being a mistake or not. We know Scott Service loves to keep guys in too long or pull them too early. Let's see if we can pull in a couple more photos here for Megan. And then reflect. Anything else you want to see besides Paisley Pup? Let me know.
That is true. And get 4 out of 4 15 on the 4 lines. There's 25 plus a line. And you can save on every 10
Win big at T-Mobile with 4 iPhone 15s on us. And 4 lines for $25 a ride.
4.
Appreciate you. And then we'll squeeze in some Connor Williams and some Greyhounds before the stream is up. And there's a common theme too. The Seahawks are really starting to fall in love with Texas Longhorn players, and that might actually be a good thing for you guys moving forward. Not only with Byron in the draft this year, who looks like a fucking monster, it could be the next Vita Vea or better, like a Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald type. And obviously you got Connor Williams. He's been in the league for a little bit, but obviously hasn't worked out on his previous teams. But I think he's going to do really, really well for Seattle, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt and can really help them up. Austin Voth in the game. Smith in the building. What's good? I think a lot of people would love for that to happen. Get rid of Stanton, get rid of Dipoto, get rid of Service, but you can't get rid of Stanton because he's the owner. Dipoto and Service are obviously guys that could have their jobs, on the line. But realistically, Stanton has such a good connection with those 2 guys that we might not see those guys get fired at all. Even though, I think a lot of the fans would definitely love that idea. McCutchen right down the third base line into left field for another base knock. Uh-oh. First and third with 1 out. That looks like that was a bad decision by Service again. Obviously Logan Gilbert could have given up that hit also, but But I just don't think that they would do, I don't think they would do Manny Acta. I mean, obviously that sounds nice and whatnot, but sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. We get rid of Dipoto, we get rid of Service. Knowing Seattle's luck, we would probably get guys that are worse. And then you talk about us never spending money. Then we end up getting guys maybe that are even more stingy, or that coach even worse than what we're getting right now, or managing even worse. So I don't know. Like I said, I know there's plenty of guys that are probably more qualified than Dipoto and Service. Both guys are probably, top 15, top 20 out of the 30 teams at what they do. But I'm not sure if we ended up firing both of those guys, if we would end up, getting guys that are better. I mean, I would love it if we were able to, even getting a guy like Bob Melvin, from the A's or something like that. It's, or like a Bochy or like a Dusty Baker type, if we could get something like that. But if you really look at a lot of the managers in baseball, I mean, let's be honest, how many are really good? Not many. I mean, you got a lot of young guys, you got a lot of guys that are average, and there's probably only like 5 good managers out of 30. I mean, there really isn't that many that are, oh my God, these guys are amazing. There's only maybe 5 to 10 that are like considered good, and then another 10, that are considered average, and then maybe another 10 that are just kind of new and young and kind of shitty, and they just don't have the experience. So Steven with a 3-er. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Bottom of the 7th with 1 out, runners on the corners, 0-1 count to Brian Reynolds. Big swing and a miss, behind in the count, 0-2. I mean, we could say the same thing, for other teams as well. Like, the Portland Trailblazers, ever since Paul Allen, ended up passing away, and then the sister and then that group, took over. Not only did Dame leave, but we look like, I mean, we got some young players, Shaden Sharp and a few others, but no free agent ever wants to come to Portland. And it just seems like, it'd be nice for, certain teams to sell to an owner that can get the team back, being respectable. But sometimes teams just want to profit. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Austin Voth with a nice K there to Brian Reynolds. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, shortstop O'Neal Cruz. But again, like the Portland Trailblazers are, again, I used to watch them when I was a kid, but I can't even really watch them play anymore. Like, I'll go to games with my friends if they invite me, and it's fun, but as far as like watching them on TV, it's like almost unwatchable. But you could say that pretty much for the whole NBA until it gets to the playoffs, or it's like the Olympics, or the finals. It's not really that good anymore, compared to the other 3 major sports. Give me hockey, give me baseball, give me NFL, give me college football, give me wrestling. Hell, give me NASCAR over NBA. I mean, it's just not that enjoyable anymore. But again, I'll go to games, but watching it on TV, not so good. And then obviously them doing like the whole Root Sports thing and not having it on local TV and, Comcast Sportnet and all these other things like Blazer Cable. Like, you're making it hard for fans to watch a team that stinks. So, and when the viewership goes down a shitload, the Blazer organization and, Jody Allen and all the rest, if they're going to be surprised, well, you should have it locally on like KGW Channel 8, so that way, if anyone wants to watch, they can. I mean, they're already losing a lot of viewership as it is, even though they're not going to be doing the Root Sports, Comcast Sportnet thing anymore. But, it seems like maybe they'll go to a streaming platform. Oh! Diving catch was missed. Dominic Canzone, and that brings in a run and another, and now we're down 5-2. Brutal. And it's just like that happened when we played the Mets, right? You got to make that play in the outfield, and if you miss it, it's going to bring in 1 or 2 runs, and that's exactly what happened. Dom, stretched out, gave everything that he had, but sometimes when you don't time it right, and it ends up coming out of the glove or you miss it, it's going to bring home at least 1, but normally 2 or 3, depending on how many guys are on base. He went for the dive. It looked like it actually hit him in the head. Bounced off the mitt, off his head. Brutal. You know, because there's not many people that want to even watch the Blazers anymore. And then if you're going to make it not on like local TV, like ABC, CBS, NBC, what is going to make someone want to watch the Blazers? They don't got LaMarcus Aldridge. They don't got Dame. They don't got B-Roy. There's no Greg Oden. There's no Clyde Drexler. There's no Terry Porter. There's no Jerome Kersey. There's no Buck Williams, Kevin Duckworth, or, Uncle Spliffy, Uncle Cliffy with Cliff Robinson. Half those guys are passed away. Rest in peace. You know, like I said, it's just a shitty product. But at least, for the Mariners, it's tough. A lot of people are going to bitch and moan. But remember, we went 20 years with no playoffs. We're built mentally strong. So, again, not everything is going to go our way, and that should be expected. And there will be a day that, Dipoto will get fired. There will be a day that they move on from Scott Service, but we just don't know when that will be. Is it going to be this year? I doubt it. I think they're going to play the season out, make profits, and see if the team can find a way, with the additions that they made. Because in their defense, they're going to be like, look, you guys bitch and moan that we never spend any money and make moves. And we made, 2 moves for relievers, right? And we made 2 moves for Justin Turner and Randy Arozarena. And obviously you have JP and Julio that have been hurt, right? So in their defense, they actually did something, but it still hasn't really fully worked out for us just yet. And again, in the last 3 years, we've been batting 200 to 220 as a team, and we are last place out of 30 teams. We have to find a way, and we don't have to be number one, batting like 260, as a team. But when you're batting like 200 to 210 or 200 to 220, we got to get closer to that 240, 250 team batting average. And if we can get there and be a top 10, top 15 hitting team, that'll be all the difference. With a top 3 pitching staff, we'll win a shitload of games, 95 to 100, if we can just move up from last in hitting to 15th in hitting. And that's not, and imagine if the Mariners ever get to top 10 in hitting. We'll probably win the World Series, again, because no one will be able to stop number 3 pitching staff with a top 10 hitting team. I mean, we're going to beat a lot of teams there, but we got to be able to get 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and we haven't been able to do that. And unfortunate defensive debacle there by Dominic Canzone. He tried it. He went for the dive. It hit his mitt, hit his head, almost a Jose Canseco type of play. And, I don't want to say the game is over, but it kind of feels like it's over. And we didn't really think we were going to beat Skeens anyways, but hopefully the Mariners can play with some pride. The next 2 games are on at 10 a.m. We don't want to get swept by the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates because, again, we need JP back desperately. But other than JP, something needs to fucking change. Either the batting order, something needs to change. We need a shot in the arm. We need something to give us a little bit of life. And again, we need to play with energy and aura and swag and vibe, and not having Justin Turner in the lineup is a problem. You brought in a guy to be able to make a difference, and you're playing him half the time. That's a problem. Scott Service is hanging on to guys like Mitch Garver when you should just realize he stinks. He sucks. Stop playing him. Period. Justin Turner needs to be playing every day, either at first base or DH. You didn't bring in a guy like Justin Turner to play half of the time, But again, that's why, I would rather have Service fired before Dipoto. I don't like Dipoto either, but Service deserves to be fired first, in my opinion. Dipoto is right there, right behind him, though, But I would definitely go with Service. I don't really like the way that he manages, and I don't think a lot of fans have liked the way that he manages that often. Again, keeps pitchers in too long, or they lose their confidence. George Kirby going against Skubal, right? Brings in the wrong guy as a reliever, right? Or puts in the wrong pinch hitter or pinch runner. Most of the time, he can get the pinch runner down. It's not that hard. You got a slow guy, you bring in a fast guy, right? But it's just, doing things like so conservatively. Sometimes you got to go against the grain and go against the box. Oh, if there's a left-handed pitcher, I got to have a pinch hitter that's a righty. But if that pinch hitter that's a righty is batting like 100, and then you got a guy that is a lefty on a lefty that's batting like 270, why not take the chance instead of going for the analytics and the statistics saying, oh, the guy that's batting righty at 100 has a better chance because he's a lefty pitcher, instead of going for a guy lefty on lefty that's got 160 points higher in batting average, but supposedly you can't hit a lefty on lefty. It's just not going to work. That type of a method, of thinking is what makes Scott Service a fucking idiot, and I don't like the way that he manages whatsoever. And again, it's kind of, we're stuck with him, but it is what it is. I speak the truth. Injuries have been brutal for us this year as well. But again, also the batting order is something that needs to be, adjusted game in and game out. You have to be able to see who's hot. You got to be able to kind of, mix it up. You don't want to just stick with the same guys 1 through 9. Sometimes you got to be able to move guys around to see if it's a good fit. We had Julio in his rookie year batting in the 1 hole, right? Then we had him in the 2 hole, right? We've seen him in the 3 hole, the 4 hole, and the 5 hole. Sometimes there's just going to be a certain spot in the order that's going to be a little bit better for guys. But I really feel the lack of playing Justin Turner has hurt us tremendously. Not only with missing his defense at first, but getting clutch hits for the Mariners at home and on the road. He's not a very good manager of managing the team, But the sad thing is there's not a lot of other guys that are better than him to replace. A lot of guys are on his level, There's 5 really good elite managers. Then there's 5 elite, 5 good, then maybe 10 that are average, and then another 10 that are bad because they're young and inexperienced, or they're just not good. And I would probably put, Service in that bottom 10, somewhere ranked between 20 to 30. But what are we going to do? I can't put in the phone call, and at this point, it's not like in college football and the NFL where you have this up and coming OC or head coach or someone like Jim Harbaugh, from Michigan that can come to the Chargers. They don't really hire managers straight out of college. Now, if they did that, that would give us more opportunities to bring in a guy that might be unproven in the big leagues, but might have won, the championship in college, for the College World Series. And if we could get a College World Series manager champion, that could be huge. But for whatever reason, the MLB doesn't really do that. They just recycle a bunch of guys like the NBA does, and you just go from one guy that gets fired to another, and it's just a big circle of guys getting fired and whatnot. And you get a lot of former players that manage, but just because you're a former player doesn't mean you're going to be a good manager. There's a lot of them that are very mediocre, average, or bad, but they get the job because they played as a player. Just like a lot of guys that have podcasts on ESPN and Fox Sports, they get a job just because they were a player, but they're terrible on the mic. Arozarena running to first. Safe. Yeah, but again, I mean, even in the 2022 year where we made the playoffs, right, with the George Kirby and Logan Gilbert and Julio, right? Even then, when we made the playoffs for the first time in 20 years, there was still a lot of questionable things. And there are good things, that Scott does. But we cannot act like he doesn't do good things once in a while. Once in a while, he'll put a guy in the right spot, like Polo in the 2 hole, and then he ends up getting an RBI. And at first, I'm like, what is he doing? And then it worked out, But for every one good thing that Service does, it just so happens, unfortunately, it seems like 3 or 4 fucked up things or bad things, whether it's just bad luck or it ends up just being a bad decision where he keeps a guy in too long or pulls a guy too early, brings in the wrong guy for pinch runner or pinch hitter, there's a lot, or brings in the wrong guy in the bullpen in the wrong situation, Managing a baseball team is hard, and all of us can be couch GMs and act like we can do it better, you know what I mean? But there probably is some of us that might be able to do it a little bit better, right? But again, we're not qualified. We're just, fans, fanatics, right? But it just seems like some stuff is almost common sense, for even the average baseball fan can see it, You don't have to be an expert, or watching every game like I do, 162 from beginning to end. It seems like a lot of these quote unquote mistakes or decisions that even an average fan or fair weather fan can be like, what is he doing right there type of thing. So Chopper from Raleigh, double play again. Brutal. But I would actually hope that, Major League Baseball would open up, to the college ranks, and if there was a guy that was, a college World Series champion or someone that was, a top 10 college coach for baseball. And, what about those opportunities, for those guys that if they decide that, there is a job out there, I think it would be cool to be able to see guys like that make it to the MLB and give them a shot instead of just fucking having a circle of guys, being hired and fired. And, you don't really have a whole lot of excitement there, or just bringing in some other former player. Yes, that is very true. I mean, even the NBA doesn't really hire college coaches that often. I mean, once in a while it'll happen, like Rick Pitino and things like that, Calipari, but a lot of times when these guys go there, you can tell they are more suited for college, and they, it's one thing to mentor young men, but it's also harder to mentor grown ass men, that are, millionaires, and they look down at you. They don't really, look up. And, obviously, unless you're like a grandpa type of coach, where you have the respect of these guys. But if you're a younger, coach player and you're managing guys or coaching guys similar to your age, sometimes it doesn't fucking work out and they don't respect you. It's very difficult to be able to, manage those type of personalities and those egos. But that's what I'm saying. It'd be nice to be able to have guys, more in the ranks, but really the only sport that does is college football, the NFL. Throw to first. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th, down 3 runs, 5-2 Pittsburgh. And again, they hit the magic number, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. When the Mariners get 1 to 3 runs, we have like 4 wins and 40 plus losses. We have to find a way to be better. And, getting swept by the Tigers isn't going to cut it. And honestly, we don't need an Andy Reid type of manager. That's football. We need a Lou Piniella. Bring back Lou Piniella, when he was managing the Mariners. That's exactly the type of guy that the Mariner fans would get behind. He might be a little fiery. He might talk shit. He might get kicked out of a couple games. He might kick some dirt at home plate. Hell, he might even pick up first base and fucking throw it. But he'll be able to manage the game the right way, most of the time. He's a little bit of a hothead, but who isn't once in a while? That's the type of guy that we need. Scott Service is a little passive, he's too conservative. We need somebody that, commands respect, and we don't need someone that necessarily is going to be, a hard ass like a Bill Belichick type of personality or a Harbaugh, but again, we need something different, the opposite, of what we have right now with Scott Service. He's more of like a, I want to be friends with the players kind of manager, and sometimes that works out, but a lot of times it doesn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm looking at managers and whatnot, Bob Melvin on the A's, I think would be a good fit for the Mariners, but I doubt they're going to fire him and give him up, And then there's like the Dusty Bakers and the Bruce Bochy's, but Baker left the game and Bochy's on the, the Rangers, but Bochy would be great for the Mariners. But again, a lot of these guys are just not fucking available, or they're on the elite teams, managing the best of the best already, and they're not going to leave anytime soon. They're just going to keep getting paid and loved and respected by their organizations. So tough, man. Not easy. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Next up for the Pirates, first baseman, 0 for 3, Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, right fielder, Brian De La Cruz. And batting third baseman, Brian Hayes. Shit. I bet you if me and Reflect managed the Mariners, I guarantee we would get more wins. You just have to be able to bring people together that are smart, that have analytics and metrics, in their back pocket, and understand what it takes to win, more bunting, would be something, that needs to be done, and again, and like stuff like this, on base steals with the pitch clock, the hit rate, bunting, all the things that the Mariners are neglecting that they don't think that is important is fucking important, and it's about making decisions at the right time with the right people. So 2001, Ichiro's rookie year. Griffey left to the Reds, and then we had Ichiro in his rookie year, and we won 115 to 120 games, but then we played the Yankees and lost to them in the first round. That was probably collectively top to bottom one of the best teams the Mariners have ever had. 95, 97, 2001, and 2022 were probably our 4 best teams. Tellez strikes out. Down goes Rowdy. Next up, the former Marlin right fielder, Brian De La Cruz. We just got to figure out a way to hit. Better manager, better hitters, better management of the team overall. And it's not like we don't have good players. Hell, we got fucking really good names. It's just finding the right combination of these guys in the right order, and figuring out who is worthy of this team. And there's definitely some bench guys that we need to get rid of or replace to get other guys that are better. Pitching staff is great. And again, we have a lot of guys in the farm system that might be able to help solve some of these problems. Harry Ford, Lazaro Montez, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, and maybe we need to bring those guys up sooner than later to see what they can do with the bat and their defense. Stop wasting money on guys like Polo and Garver and use that money for relievers. Get a 6th inning pitcher and pay him $10 million a year. Get a 7th inning pitcher, pay him $10 million a year. Get guys that actually will make a difference for our team. And then if we have holes, we can use the guys in the farm system for those pieces. Makes sense to me. Yeah, but also too, stand up. Me and Reflect have been watching this team since the 80s. So, I've been watching the Mariners since 85 and, following as heavy, around the 88, 89 era, right when Ken Griffey Jr. came up. So, I've been watching this team since I was 3, really, really focusing on a lot of the things with my dad around probably 1989 was probably like the real, beginning year of the Fanatic, Griffey's rookie year. And, from 85 to 2024, there's not a whole lot of people that are going to have as many games under their belt unless you're older than me, that ended up watching prior to 85. So 116 and 46, crazy. Yeah, didn't have the pitching, but we had the hitters though. But some of the pitchers on that squad were a little bit better than people thought, like Bossio, and some of the others. But also when you end up having a phenom like Ichiro and he has rookie of the year stats and he ends up, blowing everything out of the water, that'll definitely take you from 100 to 116. We definitely got 15 or 16 additional wins with just Ichiro in the lineup for sure. Maybe even more than that, to be honest. All right, brother, take it easy. Let's see where we're at on the likes. All right, we're at 31. We need 4 more to get to 35. Let's see if we can get to 35 before the game ends. Or maybe even 40. All right, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow for the 10 o'clock stream. Today, tomorrow and Sunday. They play early because the game is on the East Coast. So it'll be 1 o'clock for people on the East Coast. But, for people us on the West Coast, it's going to be very early, which means I got to wake up at 6, 7 a.m. and take Paisley for an early walk and get all that done. And then obviously make a thumbnail early on. So 109, appreciate you. Take it easy, Kip. Pitch right down the middle by Trent Thornton to Yasmani Grandal. Pitch is low at the knees. Oh, he went around, really? Wow, I don't know about that. 1 ball and 2 strikes as the Pittsburgh fans boo. They're at PNC. Yeah, plus it would be 3 a.m. for you. I wouldn't have you come at that time anyways. I always love the support, but I'm not going to have anybody wake up that early to watch me. I mean, unless you like, you know, have a thing where you didn't go to sleep or something and you're just bored and you want to hang out. All right, end of the 8th inning, 5-2 Pittsburgh. Now the Mariners are down to the 9th inning with their last 3 batters potentially. And, you know, another tough fucking loss. I mean, I already kind of going into the game thought, you know, we were going to lose the Skeens, but I was hoping that we could get to 4 runs. But it shows you, even if we got to 4, that wouldn't have been good enough. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, still wouldn't have been good enough. But that normally is good enough for 90 to 95% of our wins. We just got to figure out guys that can hit for us. And it is Paisley Pup's birthday today. And like I mentioned, any single dono that we get on Venmo, Cash App, or the YouTube Super Chat will go to gifts for my Paisley Pup. She turns 3 today. She is the love of my life. Never been in love, you know, but I always have this gratitude and empathy and sympathy. And I've never, you know, had this type of feeling. And it makes me feel good that I know I'm making a difference in Paisley Pup's life. Next up, 0 for 2 with a run, base on ball, and a K, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, 2 RBIs, and a base on ball, and obviously a blast for us. 2-run blast that did give us the early 2-0 lead, Luke Raley. Call him Rails, call him Nuke Raley, call him Luke Nukem, whatever you want to call him. Let's go, Luke. Luke, I'm your father. And batting third, right fielder, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, Dominic Canzone. And even if he didn't fuck up on that diving catch, we would have still been down 3-2. So yeah, it hurt that he did that Superman catch and miss. But in reality, if Dom does make that catch, we're still down a run, you know, in this situation. So yeah, 10 a.m. for us in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, I like the schedule that the Pacific Northwest has compared to the people on the East Coast. I mean, when you're on the East Coast, sometimes you guys are doing games at like 10 p.m., 9 p.m. You got to stay up until like 1 in the morning and then go to work and whatnot. I wouldn't want that. I respect everyone that lives in the Midwest and the East Coast, but I definitely wouldn't want your guys' sport times. And sometimes it's a little early for us here on the West Coast, but I would rather have it at, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. instead of it doing it like 10 p.m. start. That's ridiculous. 3-1 White Sox over the Astros. Is that a final? Or is the game still in play? I mean, we need the Astros to start losing games so that way when we lose, we keep not dipping in the win column, in the losing column. Because if we keep losing and the Astros keep winning, we're going to be 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and then eventually we're going to have to work really hard just to be a wild card team. The way that the team is trending, we're not going to win the division anymore. It looked like we were at the early part of the season, but now we're going to have to hang on by our teeth and battle the Red Sox for maybe the last spot in the playoffs. And we might not get it. Kind of depends on what happens with a lot of these series coming up. And then after we play Pittsburgh, we got the Dodgers. So not good, looking too good right now. Still in play, bottom of the fourth. Polo going deep. Gone! There we go, Polo. Yes, sir. Jorge Polanco with the trident. He says, "Oh, dog, you know what? I fucked up on that error earlier today, and, we might lose, but I'm going to give it everything I got." Nice home run, 399 feet to right center by Jorge Polanco. And this is the type of effort that I like to see when the game is essentially over and we might not be able to come back. That'll carry over, hopefully, for Polo tomorrow morning and Sunday morning as well. Nice job, Jorge. You still suck ass at defense, even though you made the double play, maybe defensive play of the year. You had an error today and a nice catch by that fan in the second row. Nice job, Polo. Next up, Luke Raley. Now, too bad Polo didn't have a guy on base to make that a 2-run homer. Then we're in business. But now we're still down 2 runs. Trident's up. Good effort by Polo. I didn't expect that whatsoever. Now, if Luke can get on, You know, or we can get hit by a pitch or a walk and we can get a couple guys on. Maybe we can have some extreme luck and we can get it to 5-5 and we can win 6-5 and 10 or 11. I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get 3, 4, 5 runs this inning. You know, we're not really known for hits and runs. Hell, the Mariners only have 4 hits total. We have almost as many errors today as hits. We have 3 fucking errors, 4 hits, 3 runs. That's not going to fucking cut it. Yeah, but even you got to think also too. I agree with the Scott Service, you know, but again, Scott Service isn't pitching. Scott Service isn't hitting. And even if we ended up getting a Bob Melvin or someone that's up and coming, a Dusty Baker or Bruce Bochy, those guys aren't hitting or throwing, you know. And at the end of the day, it's up to the players to be able to get it done. The manager can put, you know, players in a better position to succeed, but at the end of the day, a lot of these Mariner players are failing, you know. And again, fair ball, go, 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 baby, go. Prevents extra bases. There we go. You know, at the end of the day, the players need to be better. But again, I would agree. I would love for Scott to, you know, get the boot at the end of the year, and then we can look for someone else. And then if Bob Melvin got fired from the A's, that would be the perfect fit for the Mariners. You know, Dusty Baker, Bruce Bochy, that's probably not going to be possible, right? And all the other elite managers are on teams that are good or elite. They're not going anywhere, you know. But Bob Melvin might be the best manager, top 10 manager on a shitty team, the Oakland A's, which will be the Vegas A's. For whatever reason, they decide with the move to Vegas to get rid of Melvin. That would probably be my top choice. That might be attainable, maybe, you know, at some point. I think he would be a perfect fit for Seattle, but again, I don't know. You know, there's not very many good managers in baseball right now. Probably 10 total. You know, 5 elite, 5 good, 10 that are average, and 10 that suck ass. You know, either that they're young or they're just not good. So, yeah, too bad we don't have Lou Piniella with this roster. You know, I would love to have a Lou Piniella type for this team. Big swing and a miss. It's one thing to be a player's coach, you know, like a Pete Carroll type, and sometimes that'll work for certain teams, like it did for him at USC and the Seahawks, you know, but other times, you know, you're going to need a disciplined guy like a Harbaugh or a Belichick. But the only problem is that once you start losing, then the message goes in one ear out the other, and everyone stops caring. So, you know, like they did with Belichick after Brady left. Pitches low at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So there's kind of a fine line where you can kind of be a player's coach and you can be a disciplined kind of guy. You got to find that right balance, you know? Scott is too calm for my liking as well. You know, I agree. He's too conservative. He's kind of like a Tony Dungy, you know, and that's why I got John Gruden to get me over the top. Some guys are just too nice, too conservative. Dominic Canzone, big swing and a miss. Goodbye. There goes Dom. And why are we playing Dom in right field? You know, why not put Luke Raley in right field and Justin Turner at DH? These simple little mistakes, you know. And again, Rojas, should you be playing? Maybe, maybe not. Rivas, should you be playing? Maybe, maybe not. You know, again, like we don't usually have our strongest lineup, you know, game in and game out. It's frustrating. Next up, Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're trying to get to 40. We're not going to have time to get to 50 likes unless this goes into extras, but a lot would have to happen. Late inning heroics by Haniger to end up going for a home run or a big RBI, or if he can just get on base with a hit by pitch or walk, and then the guy after him can start it, you know, a little bit of a rally here. Bueller. Yeah, but Scott Service's demeanor is just like kind of Tony Dungy, and every once in a while Service will try to get ejected and fire up the team, or there'll be like a fight with the Angels and whatnot. But sometimes, you need to get ejected on purpose to light a fire, underneath the umps and the team itself. And Scott doesn't do that enough. Again, like I said, to me, out of 30 managers, he's somewhere between 15 and 25. He's definitely not the worst, but he's definitely not one of the best either. Somewhere between 15 and 25 out of 30 managers. Some people might say he's bottom 5, but again, if you look at all the managers in baseball, you might retract that statement. There's a lot of managers that are worse than Service, but it just sucks when you actually have a good team and you just seem to fail so often. And that's what puts Service into some people's eyes as bottom 5 or bottom 10. It's like you got a good team there, right? And you're just not cutting it. 2-2 pitch to Mitch Garver, incoming. Let's go. Come on, Mitch. Mitch has come up big with a couple walk-offs for us in the last 10 to 14 days. Haniger strikes out. Fuck. Brutal. 2 down. We're down to our last out. And now the guy that should have been playing all along, right? Lo and behold, Justin Turner. You didn't pick him up to sit on the goddamn bench. You picked him up to play first base or to DH every day. And that's another thing about Scott Service that just makes me irritated as hell, It's like you picked up Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner to what? Put him on the bench? Fuck no. We suck as a hitting team. We need all the help that we can get. And Turner's pretty good at first base. He's a better defender than Luke Raley. Big swing and a miss for JT. Yeah, he has this like loyalty to shitty players, Again, like Garver shouldn't be playing at all. I guess if you want to play him as a backup catcher, so be it. But I mean, hell, I would have rather had Tom Murphy still on this team, and we would have never paid any money to Polo and Garb and used that money, $10 million a year per player, and got a really good pitcher for the 6th, a really good pitcher for the 7th, and that would have been money well spent. We got plenty of guys, Lazaro Montes, Harry Ford, Colt Emerson, and Cole Young. Even though they're young, I think that Mariner fans would rather have those guys get called up than bringing in guys in the offseason that end up failing from other teams, that end up having success on their original team, and you come to Seattle and can't do anything. I mean, we got a great farm system, and we got Durangelo, the pitcher that can pitch from the left side and the right side this year from Mississippi State, pitches inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. But I agree with that. We never have the best lineup 1 through 9. He is way too conservative, way too into the, if it's a left-handed pitcher, we have to have a righty strong lineup. Bullshit. If we have a lefty pitcher, let's have a lefty lineup. Fuck it. Especially if that lefty is so much better than the other backup righties that you put in there. But that's Scott for you. Turner. And Turner has actually one of the, better strikeout percentages compared to a lot of the other players on the team, as well as the MLB average. Last time I checked, I believe his percentage in strikeout was like 10% lower than the MLB average. So if we are a number 1 strikeout team, number 1 lowest batting average, why the hell wouldn't you have, Big Red, Justin Turner in the lineup every fucking day? Stupid. Top of the 9th, 3-2 pitch to Turner. Turner! Oh, shit, just foul. I agree. Even when he's angry, he looks a little bit calm. Or, he'll move his mouth and wave his arms a little bit, and you'll see a little bit of anger and frustration. But it's nothing compared to, like, Lou, losing his fucking mind. And sometimes you need a manager or a coach to lose their fucking mind, to understand that they got the players' backs, right? They get emotional. It's an emotional sport. 3-2 pitch to Turner. And the ball game is over. And I would have loved to have Justin Turner with 3 more attempts as the fireworks go off here at PNC. Oh, man, tough. Yeah, I honestly feel by watching this team since 1985, and I know, some people would be like, yeah, right. You're just a fanatic, whatever. But I honestly feel that a lot of fanatics that have been watching since the 80s, if you grouped a group of 10 guys in a room together, or even 5 guys, that you could manage this team better than what we're doing right now. I really believe that, because a lot of the guys on this channel, as well as some of the girls, we're into analytics and metrics and understand that bunting is important, and things that the Mariner staff is not doing, and understanding when they have a left-handed pitcher, you don't have to have all righties, especially if they're batting like 150. Give me a lefty on lefty, even if it's skewball, right? I would rather have a lefty and a lefty in the lineup instead of putting in a guy like Mitch Garver because he's just a fucking righty. It doesn't make sense, but again, baseball is one of those things where a lot of these guys are caught up in the OG generation, how things were done in the 80s and the 90s. This is fucking 2024, just like in the NFL. Used to be a running league. Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. It is no longer a running league, it's a passing league. You got to be able to adjust to the times. And congratulations to all the Pittsburgh fans. GG. Skeens got, obviously, the dub and played fantastic. And another tough loss for us Mariner fans. Exactly. And again, when I look at the lineups, game in and game out, and obviously we're missing JP Crawford and his vibe and his aura as well, and not having Julio in center field to make defensive plays too. So injuries have been big. And another one with Matt Brash, not having him to be in the 6th and 7th inning. We would have won. I'm not even bullshitting you. I think we would have won 10 additional games if Matt Brash didn't get hurt before the season started. If we had Matt Brash in the 6th and 7th, hell, he could even pitch in the 8th and 9th as an emergency guy. We're really missing key pieces. And when you don't have those key pieces, and we have injuries, everything starts to kind of fall apart. But I love Victor. I love Randy. I love Cal. Julio. Polo stinks at defense, but at least he hit the homer late. Luke is a guy that's decent. He homered today, but Justin Turner should be playing over him at first, or DH. Dominic Canzone shouldn't be playing. Rojas probably should be benched for Demo unless we get a better third baseman like Cole Young or Cole Emerson. Rojas doesn't deserve to play. Rivas doesn't deserve to play either. But again, it is what it is. It's like every lineup that you see, there's at least 3 guys that make you wonder, like, why are they playing? But I guess that's what it is. But, for us OG Mariner fans, we love this team, and we're not going to stop watching. We're still going to keep rooting. And one day, we will make a World Series. One day, we will be champions. But as far as today, final score, Pittsburgh 5, Mariners 3. Tough. And then, again, both games on Saturday and Sunday, I believe, are on at 10 a.m. Let's look at the matchups to see if we actually have a fucking chance. The worst thing that possibly could happen to us is if we get swept by Pittsburgh. All right, so we're the first game in the morning tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We got Luis Castillo going against Bailey Falter. Falter's 5-7 with a 4.07 ERA. Castillo is 10-11 with a 3.40 ERA. Matchup predictor says the Mariners have a 54% chance to win that game. And then let's go Sunday. 10:30 start. And we got undecided against George Kirby. 8-9, 3.42 ERA. And it stinks because you got guys like George Kirby and Castillo, and a lot of the guys have an under 500 record because we can't fucking hit. If we could just get run support, every single one of our pitchers would have an above 500 record. Like no discussion, no argument, period. That's what would happen. But unfortunately, when you got the lowest batting average and you're the number 1 strikeout team, it's hard, to be able to put things together. So, but I still have faith in this team. I'm obviously going to point out things that aren't good, but we're not going to be overly negative. There's plenty of Seattle Mariner content creators that do that job for me, and we're going to keep it positive as we can, and understand the season is long. Things aren't really looking good right now. We're just going to call it a spade. We're going to call it how we see it, but we can pray and hope that things get a little bit better moving forward. So. Tough, man. I just wish there was more, more candidates, to hire. I wish MLB hired College World Series champion coaches that were looking for an opportunity to be a MLB manager. Like, why aren't we doing that? That should be something that is done. And some guys will never leave. They're going to be coaching young men, but there's definitely out of 100 Division I college baseball schools, you can't tell me that there isn't 5 to 10 qualified college managers that couldn't do better, than at least half of the league that we got right now. I guarantee there's at least a few there that could do just as good or just as bad as the guys that we have now, and it would be cool to see those guys get a chance. It is what it is. So, yeah, you can, like I said, it's 7 a.m. You can take tomorrow and the next day off. If you end up waking up sometime between 7 and 10 in the morning and want to hop on, you can. But again, I'm not going to force you to wake up at 7 a.m., since you're in Hawaii. So if you want to sleep in, that's fine. And I'll handle, the like, sub, dono, and all that. I'll do that by myself. If you end up waking up at, 9:30 and you want to hop in for the last half hour, obviously you're more than welcome to. But I'll hold down the mod duties myself since the stream is going to be so early. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. He's got his guys that he likes, and that's never going to change. So, and it also might be a call by Dipoto and Stanton as well. It might not just be a service thing. It might be political. We paying, Garver $10 million a year, Polanco $10 million a year. Just like in football, sometimes you have a guy like Jerry Jones on the Cowboys where you got Zeke where he's past his prime. Tony Pollard should have been the starter, but for whatever reason, Zeke kept being the starter. Why? Because he's best friends with Dak, and because he's getting paid a certain amount. So you have to remember, sometimes it's right in front of you. Tony Pollard was the better running back for years, right? But they decided to go with Zeke because of the relationship with Dak and also the money that he was getting paid. So unfortunately, that has something to do with it as well. So, I'm looking at all aspects of sports. So, but I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very much. It is Paisley's birthday today. And thank you to all the support that we ended up getting. Is there any last minute photos that anybody wants to see from the people that donated? Megan, Reflect, if you're still in the room, anything that you guys want to see photo wise before I go? Yeah, Arise would have been great. You got to think the Twins are idiots to let that guy go. The Marlins are idiots to let that guy go. And now he's on the Padres. Luis Arise is the closest thing to Ichiro that we have in this game right now. Obviously, we've seen other guys like Stephen Kwan have a good year this year. But, Luis Arise has been doing it for the last 3 or 4 years. So, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll throw up the Paisley photos here one last time. And she turns 3 today, so love of my life, man. Has saved my life. I don't even know if I would be around if it wasn't for her. I've had depression. I've had anxiety. We know addiction is a real thing, and I'm just happy that I got her when I did. We'll throw up some Paisley pup photos here for her birthday. Let me pull these up. We'll go live here for another 7 minutes until we get to the 3-hour mark, and then we'll call it a day. And I got to take her for another walk, play with her, and enjoy some of the new toys that we got her today. I'm getting them loaded right now. Huge at bat, especially because there was a leadoff homer, a base hit, and but I, put all my blood, sweat, and tears, into her life, making sure that she gets plenty of love, plenty of attention, plenty of fruit, good quality food, walk, an hour and a half to 2 hours, 7 days a week. So not only did it get me in shape and improve my mental health, she got in shape as well and lost about 15 to 20 pounds. And she's one of the happiest dogs that you will ever see. She is the Paisley pup, American Staffy. She's beautiful. And she's got an amazing personality. And this was her first day with me when we moved away from my ex. When this is taken right when she understood that she was going to be living with me for the rest of her life. And you can tell with that kind of smile, it's probably one of the biggest smiles out of any photo. She did the zoomies in the house, went crazy. And that was when she realized, Dad, we're going to be together forever. And, and this was probably our most recent photo together on a long, maybe hour and a half walk. And, you can tell just with the smile on her face, she is loved. That's one of my favorite photos of her as a baby. I mean, I got a lot of them, that one as well. I'm just glad I took a lot of photos of her, when I was, in that process and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, dogs are better than humans. I got, like I said, friends here that live in Oregon, but I feel that I got Justin as my best friend and nothing will ever change that. But besides Justin, Paisley Pup is definitely my number one for sure. No, I didn't know if you left the room yet, so I was going to actually wait for you to respond, and then we can throw some of those up. Let's see if we can get some good Greyhound photos. Yeah, she saved me and I saved her just because, if she would have lived with my ex, she probably would have got diabetes, got sick, got fat, would have never been walked, would have been tearing up everything in the house. And then eventually she would have given up and then would have called me and said, we need to take her type of thing. So, but on the day that I ended up moving out, she came with me and that was the right choice. But I feel until you end up having a dog, for yourself, depending on where you're at in your life, especially if you've had, depression, anxiety, addiction, and then you end up having a dog, that gives you unconditional love and attention, it changes you, and it really makes you understand really what's important in life, and being able to make sure that, she is loved and she gets that proper love and attention. It's, I've always had more of a female brain, with empathy and sympathy and whatnot. And obviously being more of an empath, I kind of, I can understand people of different ages, different races. I can get along with black, white, Mexican, Asian. It doesn't matter if you're young or you're old, obviously being in phone sales for 20 plus years and, calling people all over the country of all different race, all different age, and also understanding what it's like, with cats and dogs and what a positive influence they can be on your life. And, my life has changed forever for the better. And I'm always going to make sure that I give her everything that I got. It's a privilege to own a dog. Most dog owners, they get a pup. And then once the pup grows out of the pup stage, they don't treat it the same way, or they give it up, or they abandon it or dump it, or take it to a shelter or try to sell it, And honestly, I love Paisley Pup more now than I did when she was a baby. When she was a baby, I loved her. But now, knowing that, she's 3 and knowing that I don't have too much time with her and every single day that she wakes up is like a week for a human, it makes you think of life a little bit differently, based on the effort that you put out. Like if you knew that the time that you have with your dog, every day you wake up is like 7 days for a dog, would you live the same way for your dog? Would you not take it out for a walk? Would you not play with it? And I feel most dog owners don't understand that, Obviously we know that sometimes dogs will live, 10 to 15 years. Sometimes they end up passing before that, 5 to 8, some will end up living to 15 to 20, but they don't have a long lifespan. So you want to make sure that you're giving everything that you got every single day, knowing that, if you don't take a dog for a walk or you don't play with it, that's like not playing with your dog for a fucking week. Imagine if you were a dog, would you not like to be played with for a fucking week? Hell no. So, But again, I feel that, my heart is going to be a little bit different than, others. And there's going to be people that are just like me that have that same type of mentality. So, but I'm going to always give everything that I got to her, and she deserves it. I mean, especially if she's changed my life. I mean, hell, I haven't had a bad day since I've had her, since we've moved out of the hellhole that we were in, and sometimes getting away from toxic people, and being somewhere where you are loved and appreciated, and it's not a hell environment every day, So that's why it's very tough to be able to have good relationships. People cheat, people lie, people, try to gaslight you. There's just a lot of bad people that are out there, And luckily for dogs, they show unconditional love. And I will never, ever abandon Paisley, and I will make sure I give 100% effort no matter what. There's a couple Greyhound photos there for you. I know, that's wild. Fuck, I hope so. I hope so, stand up. I mean, it's been rough, man. But I do feel that, we chose each other, but also, too, I also put the most effort. I was the one typically feeding her. I was usually the one that took her to the groomers to get her nails trimmed, and I washed her body. I was the one that walked her probably 95% of the time. So I think she knew, who loved her the most. And honestly, she would be a little bit more aggressive and bitey towards the other two in the house. So if that's the case, then, she didn't like them. If you're gonna play on your phone and you're gonna ignore her, then of course she's not gonna be nice to you. So again, if there's ever an individual where a dog doesn't like you, that's kind of a red flag. They definitely know good people and they know bad people. So big facts. Yeah, I mean, I wish that, and there are two things that I'm always going to promote is mental health and the importance of dogs and cats and pets in people's lives. And as we get bigger and bigger as a channel, I would love to be able to, do more, live streams for, donation runs for, the Humane Society or some kind of animal dog project, or obviously mental health. And as we get bigger and bigger, I would love to be able to do, fundraisers for those two things, for dogs and cats, as well as mental health. Those will always be the two biggest things that I'm going to promote on the channel, because it obviously is something special to me, and I know what kind of difference it typically makes. So, well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Pittsburgh Pirates 5, Seattle Mariners 3. And we're going to have 2 early starts. I'm going to be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then we'll be live at 10:30 on Sunday in the morning Pacific time. So I know not everyone will be able to make it, but again, if you can, come through. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We ended up hitting, 110 on the dono goal, which is great. And all of the proceeds will go to Paisley Pup and gifts for her. And what did we end up hitting for likes? We're 1 like away from 35. So if there's someone in the room, there we go. I was going to say, if there's at least someone in the room that hasn't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we got to 35. And thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I love you, and I appreciate you very, very much. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm going to spend the rest of the day with my beautiful Paisley Pup, who turns 3 today. Thank you, Reflect. Thank you, Matt. Stand Up, Megan, and everybody else in the room. Matt, I love you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy, Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Happy birthday, Paisley Pup. I love you. Okay.